Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 6 of Yakshas. And like we do every episode, I'm going to do what a good DM does. I'm going to foist my duties onto my players. Peter King, pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
Daniel.
2.
Now the highs and lows. Who's betting high, who's betting low?
I'll bet low.
You're a dangerous man, I like that.
We didn't hear you, Mike, but we got the gist.
Hi. Yeah.
Daniel.
Bet low.
You have fallen.
What
right
can I
into
say?
my
The house
trap.
always wins.
God.
You fool! I have 70 alternate accounts. But really,
A base!
I was going. To
Don't get me started.
First, I was going to say, James, it's not foisting duties upon your players. We call that delegation, and it's a capitalist tactic.
Well, no, I'd have to leave to do that, and get money while doing it.
So you're you're here and you're not getting paid. So yep, that rules out capitalism.
Yeah, what happened last time on the topic of capitalism? Because you guys made some bank.
Well, let's see. We ended up going to go fight people. I believe we because the session before we had a huge fucking argument. It was fine. We'll go fight, but after this, we got some talking to do. And let's see. So we did get into combat. We got into our second and third and fourth round of combat, however many there were. Let's see. To make a long story short, eat shit, ate shit, and let's see. Indiana took some hard knocks. Frank took some hard knocks. Let's see. Howler, let's see. He fought the Flak and the Flak lost. Behold the power of my huge anti-mech gun. Oh, I can't roll above 4. Well, this is going
And
to be
then
hard.
there's Junkie. He's
He's
dead.
dead. Yep.
He's dead.
He died. So that was kind of anticlimactic, but what wasn't anticlimactic was the guy was our rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting 3-armed dickhead. I don't even want to call him a Sicario, but he got pounded in. I'm gonna blast your virtual ass into actual dust, and that's exactly what happened. We shot his we shot his middle finger off, I'm sure, along with literally everything else.
Also, explain how you fucking ruined that poor turret's day.
Well, so I was using my core power, which takes a couple of turns, and Sin, I think, killed him. Wasn't it Sin, or was it Frank?
Sin.
Right, because Sin wouldn't attack the terrorists, suspiciously after I told him to and gave him a deep dive.
Yes,
You
we
know,
need to work on that. We need to work on that.
Yeah, I know.
Sin
That'll come up in therapy.
Sin, no. Sin killed him. Frank was out of his mech at that point.
Oh, that's right.
In the building.
Yeah, because I think that was the one time that Sin used his actual weapon instead of his stupid bullshit crows.
No, I didn't attack. I missed that one
Oh
time.
no, it was Kong killed him.
Yeah, it was not me.
Because he was basically like, so he's invisible, but I know where he is.
That's
And
right.
he's smarter that
That's
basically
right.
kills everything in the, the general urban block that guy is in. Big
Yeah.
burst weapons.
So, yep. We still need to work on that, by the way. So,
Yeah.
that happened, and so she's like, well, I have no one to unload my core power on now except this turret. And
I was
so,
crying.
six shots, 4 AP damage a shot, so that's 24 damage. Which I actually found out after the fact was more. because of the gunslinger die. It ended up being like 28 damage, something like that. Oh, it was fun times. What else? So we get back to the ship because everything is. Okay. So found the guy, turned him over to the Federales, who just immediately kind of dome him and then move on. We RTB and get back, get called up to the bridge. We had two things to discuss. First was, potential job in the Caribbean, which we took. Then the second was, hey, there's somebody. There's a How did you put that? There's a reactor core signature coming our way, and it ended up being motherfucking Gawain of the goddamn Ochre Blades. And he talked like this, and he was a fucking prick, and he said that if you give me Indiana, who I don't know is here, I'll give you like 3 times what you just made. And they said, Indiana, never heard of her. Isn't that like a fucking stupid movie from the 80s? And then they moved on.
Yeah.
So that happened. Oh, Frank tried to make good with Indiana, and she's like, no.
No.
Yeah. And then, I think somewhere in there, the captain was like, you guys need to stop fighting. And we were like, we're not fighting. But we're not talking to each other either. So. Did I miss anything? Oh, Sin was fucking shit up with his drones. I forgot about that. And now he gets more drones.
Daniel does in my games is he finds the little annoying things that he can make 600 million, 1.89 times 10 to the 93rd power of them, and then just throw them all over the map. Then you get into this room and there's this many Shikari.
God.
I mean, I do have 2 more Tempest drones.
No.
Uh-huh.
You can't
All right,
just... I mean, you can tell him no, but you can't just tell him no, James.
Okay, this is a message directly to any of you out there who are going to play Lancer. Someone decides they're like, oh, Hydra, I like Drip. Tell them no. Ban it.
Right, you don't like Indra, Agni,
and to
Phobos, and Deimos?
and to all of those Hydra players, if they tell you no, you just look them dead in the eye and say, okay, that's fine. It looks like I'm just going to play a Lich then.
Oh God.
If they say
And then they'll
no
say,
to
yes, you
that,
can play Hydra. What were
if
you
they
saying,
keep
Mike?
telling you no, just keep finding the next most powerful mech.
Just keep going until they eventually just start crying.
Yeah.
Because then you could choose the Monarch, which that's annoying as hell. I'm going to sit
True.
over here and hit you with X to the 10 power of missiles.
Yeah. Hi.
They
I
are
fire
literally
a
the
bow.
Gundam.
Right? Or, ooh, look, Blackbeard.
God.
The Blackbeard's fun. Don't fucking diss that. At least that you have to get in melee.
Or,
Yeah.
better yet, I'm going to play a Manticore. What does the Manticore do? It explodes. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this setting wouldn't allow that, so I told my players no, because looking through the book, I was like, someone's gonna want to play the suicide bot.
Huh.
I was like, it's gonna be Mike or it's gonna be Gunner. One of them is gonna be like, oh boy, I want to kill myself every combat.
I could play the literal suicide paladin, James, but you ruined it!
You've already done that once. I was very forgiving with Marquois.
You were and you shouldn't have been. Why were you forgiving, James?
'Cause
His
it was
call
fun
to
to
the
kill him.
void was strong.
Because it was fun to kill him over and over and over and over. Anyway,
Very fair.
fantastic. So, we're gonna probably start with. Okay, it was gonna be a Tuesday, and this is before, like right before you guys By the way, you guys all had something you didn't like about the guy who you took the Caribbean job from. What was that?
Eh,
He's infected.
I mean, oh, we didn't like that about him? Then we're gonna have some problems, because I got news for you.
Characters.
No, we didn't like him because he was very obviously the bad guy and wasn't even like doing that thing where the bad guy goes, "I'm gonna offer you unlimited money to do the bad guy thing." He went, "I'm gonna offer you less money than it would take to get there, and then I'll just pay your gas." Like,
And food.
yeah, fuck that guy.
So, this is right before that. We're gonna get to Indiana.
Oh boy.
You are going
I
to
love therapy.
meet with Lashana, who, for those who have not joined us before, is the ship psychiatrist. Because turns out when you have a bunch of morally challenged individuals who go around murdering people for money, you kind of want to make sure they're not going to just have a snap one day and be like, "Oh, the difference between you and me is one bad day," and kill each other.
Thanks
So,
for the
yeah.
idea, James.
Yeah, if you go full Joker on me, I'm. And out
He's
of the
done it once,
sky,
he'll do it again!
and out of the sky descend 300 manticores, all aiming at you.
Well, that's nice. You could have said 21 Barbarossas, and I would have made... oh gosh, what is that? Which overture is that? James, which overture is
Oh,
that?
the William Tell. No, is it? No, the 1812.
Yeah. Tchaikovsky, no!
Tchaikovsky, yes.
Yes. Anyways, yeah. She's coming in. She's got a single cup of coffee in hand. She knocks on the door.
And it's a couple seconds. You hear a coming from inside the room, and the door slides open on its own, and Lashana's there at the door. She'd hit the little button on the side to let you in. She's in like a very nice red, well, not like nice as in fancy, but nice as in comfortable red dress with a yellow shawl over it, and she motions for you to come in. She's like, "Come in. You want some tea, some coffee? You got a little bit of both."
She takes a sip of her coffee. I'm good, thank you.
Oh, look at you. Self-sufficient.
She kind of raises an eyebrow at that, but doesn't say anything. Sits on the couch.
Oh, she was obviously doing it in a bit more playful a manner.
Oh, by the way, good fucking music. I just realized where this is from.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
She sits down and it's like, "Now, is there anything you want to talk about before we get to brass tacks?"
Not particularly. I saw you were taking quite a few notes. Care to ask any questions you refrained from?
Not yet. We have dirtier business to get to, I guess you could say. You had quite the show last night. Oh, well, not last night, but you did good work, got paid. Was a hell of a fight from what I'm told.
You can watch the cockpit feeds.
Some of the crew like to do that, but she lays a hand on her chest. It's just not good for my little old heart.
It probably does get a small smile on Indiana's. I suppose. It never reaches her eyes.
How does your line of work, how do you handle your line of work? Everybody has a way that they cope with violence.
Are you asking because you want to see if mine is better or worse than everyone else's? Or you're genuinely curious?
I need to establish a baseline if I'm going to be an effective doctor, ain't I?
Doctor, sure.
The mind can be just as easily broken as the body, and it needs a certain touch in order to put it back together, just like Myrrh needs a certain tool in order to put the body back together.
Of course. So you're asking what I do with my downtime?
More how you cope. No one really likes killing people.
Some people do.
Sometimes people compartmentalize it. They create a separate part of their own mind where they're like, this is the part of me that does the bad things, but that's not the real part of me. Some people, you turn off their minds and try not to think about it during, they try not to think about it after. Some people turn to drink, cigarettes, harder stuff, whatever it is that can take that edge off, give them just enough time to sleep.
With all due respect, the moment they step into that mech cockpit, they've agreed to either take my life or have me take theirs. And I intend to sleep in my bed at night.
That's a fair way of looking at it. It's the soldier's conundrum, us or them sort of thing. How did you come to be a Yaksha?
Born into it.
She raises her eyes and is like, really? It's not something you hear very much.
You were at the meeting where we discussed my past?
Indeed, but I'm not so familiar with the cultures of other companies.
The Ochre Blades focus very heavily on making sure that every able-bodied person is able to hop into a mech at any given moment to defend the company. Or as they put it, the family.
Did you consider them your family at one point? Before things got messy?
What else could you consider them? I was born into it. My parents were a part of it. What part of that doesn't spell family?
Family's more than blood. Family's a bond. And you can choose whether you want that bond with blood or something. You know, there's a quote that's often misread. A lot of people like to say, blood is thicker than water.
Yes, I know the quote. Yes.
So you know what it actually is.
Correct. The water of the
And
womb
actually-
is thinner than the blood of friendship.
The blood of the bond, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, it's not uncommon for people to be born into a family and end up not liking their family, not considering them their family.
Family is a means to an end, and she takes another sip of her coffee.
What would that end be?
Survival.
So, to live. Or to have life. Because there's a difference.
To live and to survive is two different things.
She nods. So this family, then, allowed you to survive. Did you have any way, any means by which you thrived, which you lived?
If you were asking about if I was raised right as a child, who is raised right anymore?
It's not what I'm asking. I'm just asking what you did. Who Indiana is.
Indiana is a fake name that I gave myself the day I ran away. If you really want to know my childhood, you would probably be talking about who I was before. To that end, I was a good child, quote unquote. I was seen and not heard, and I did what I was asked, and everything else in between.
So night and day compared to the Calliope. I mean, you only have to see someone like Mandy or Frank or even Greasy to know that people here like to be heard and seen.
Good soldiers follow orders. And only good soldiers work their way up the ranks.
Would you consider them good soldiers then? Because they're all in positions of power on this ship.
They're not soldiers.
What are they?
Civilians.
Speaking of...
She didn't say
There's
you
almost-
guys, she was talking about the other people. Don't flip me off. I
There was
wasn't talking
almost
about
a-
you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. It was almost a civilian fire incident. What happens when civilians are pushed onto the lines?
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean, man.
Mandy, myself, Francois, Captain. No, this place wasn't always home to the Ramblers. It used to be home to a group called the Devil's Care.
I don't believe I recognize that name.
Didn't get far. 5 Yakshas, making their ways up the ranks. Someone has a bad day, doesn't handle things right, and they're on their way back. They get inside the Calliope, and he shoots them all in the back. Kills 3, cripples another. Would have probably killed more of the crew if Mandy hadn't been quick on the draw with her own custom-made things that she'd been trying to save up as presents for them. People get pushed. People act different than you assume. That's that will to survive you're talking about.
Sounds
Ain't much
like
different.
Big Boss got lucky then. Just losing an arm?
She lost more than an arm that day. We all lost more than that.
I'm sorry you see it that way.
She sighs and leans back and says, I'm an old woman. Hell, my kids were grown-ups before Shiva happened. I was a school teacher, you know, when the rock fell.
What was it
We were
like
lucky that
when
it was
everything
during
changed?
We're lucky it was during summer. I don't think I could have explained to all those babies what was happening. Never knew what happened to any of them. Schools were some of the first things to get shut down.
And how do you cope
But I'm
with
s-
that?
By being here. By helping. Because there ain't no difference between civilians and soldiers, because eventually that soldier's gonna have to be a civilian, or that civilian's gonna have to become a soldier.
You can't take the soldier out of the civilian. Just like you can't put the civilian into a soldier. You either are or aren't. From what I see,
She
there are
nods and-
far too civilians in the world trying to act like soldiers, and far too few soldiers trying to understand that they'll never be civilians.
Nods and takes a few notes.
Is there anything else you
You
wanted
always
to
say-
ask me, ma'am?
You always had such a dour outlook on everything, or did that come with your escape?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I can see that you don't want to be here, so I won't keep you.
Same time next week?
For now. I will say this though before you leave. You don't have to come here, you know.
Ma'am? She asks with a questioning tone.
She gets a the smallest bit of a perk to her lips. She's like, "You don't have to come here. No one's making you. Just like I don't have to mark you off as safe. No one's making me."
Is that a threat, ma'am?
An observation.
She stands, puts the coffee down on the table. It's cold now. Turns, looks as if she's scanning the room. So did they bring you on before or after? I'm assuming before. Did you do this before the incident?
Not before. The incident's kind of what pushed me to be this way.
Well, hopefully it's working. And she walks out the door.
Yeah. She never stepped out of her chair. She just sat there and watched you leave.
There is the cold cup of coffee sitting on her table.
And then you went up to... And then we connect back to where we ended last session, where you guys got the call from Zaminiar. And he was like, "Hey, I'm working with people. I want you to do this. They'll give you this much money." And you guys are like, "Fuck no." And he's like, "Hey, I'll get you more money." And they're like, "Maybe."
We are easily swayed. We're mercenaries. It's what we do.
Your morals don't get me. Only money.
Correct.
So, let's start there. You guys have all just agreed to tentatively agree to this mission, pending boss making more arrangements with Zaminiar to try and squeeze him for all the chefs he's worth. Then she went off to her office, and it's just the four of you. I guess you could say Methuselah's always with you. He's always around, waiting, watching.
I don't like Thuzy. Weirds me out.
He is the ship.
I know. I don't like it.
Alright, what we need to do is we need to get him an Edie-style body. So then Frank goes, "Suddenly, I feel like being Joker."
Methuselah X Frank is my favorite ship.
Ha.
They both have biblical names. That's the only thing they have in common. That's enough for
Right?
most fanfiction writers.
Oh, God.
They
Don't
talk
even
to
get me
each other
started.
once.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah. The four of you just had a talk with a suspicious individual. Is anyone gonna say anything, do anything? And you guys are gonna have about a week of downtime again. So this is the 3rd, so it'll be the 10th of June.
Okay. Yeah, does that guy strike anyone else as completely bullshit and probably gonna get us in a lot of trouble for not enough chefs?
Why is
Oh.
that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's his enigmatic nature, or the fact that he's not offering a lot of chefs, or the fact that he wants us to attack people who are dressed as the good guys, or the lack of chefs.
It's not because of what he is?
What, infected? I've worked with plenty of infected before. That doesn't do shit.
Yeah, he's sketchy as fuck. I don't trust him one bit.
Why do I see that, like, your camera's actually what Hunter's doing? He's just fucking leaned back in a chair, feet up on the table. Yep,
Yeah.
he's sus.
Yeah.
That is exactly what he's doing.
Amogus.
John, what's your clock on this guy?
I'm not sure about him. He's sketchy as hell, but he really got to get jobs. And if he turns out to not be legit, we bounce. Real simple.
We don't
True.
have any other offers at the moment.
True. Plus, how often do we get paid to have a vacation in the beautiful Caribbean islands?
Plus, if he is bad, we can kill him and take even more money. I think
Eh.
it's a great idea.
What do you figure odds or overs are on that guy actually being a part of this Kairos group?
We rolled on that. He actually didn't seem happy.
Yeah, right.
But you didn't know why he was unhappy.
Right. Oh, probably 50-50.
Here's the other odds. What do you figure these guys who are the bad guys dressed as the good guys who are supposedly Kairos are actually just the good guys?
Well,
Also 50-50.
if he is going to be doing something dumb like that, maybe being close to the scene of the action, so when he inevitably tries to double-cross us, knowing's half the battle. We could always attempt to stop whatever he's planning.
True, true. Could be some juicy chevs in it. Way I figure, when we get to that island, maybe we tackle one of these guys and interrogate him first, see who's on what page. I mean, we'll know in an instant if they're Kairos, if they happen to be wearing a mask and we pop it off and they got big old fucking crystals coming out of their face or not, you know? Because if they're not infected, no way they're Kairos, right? I mean,
Not necessarily.
What if they don't look infected? What
I've
if they
heard-
haven't manifested?
Yeah, you get a glance from Indiana for that one.
yeah, that's valid. We still have those field test kits?
I mean, we could kill them and move on to the next one.
I've heard of some sympathetic names to the infected cause. A couple of people in remote areas with power willing to take in infected, feed infected, fund terrorist cells made by infected.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look,
And,
most most of them just see them as, how do you say, means to an end. I pay them what I can do, send them to certain death. When they die, I just pick the next group willing to try. Keeps my hands clean, everyone blames it on infected, life moves on.
Yeah. Kind of shrugs and goes, yeah. That's fair. Kind of stares off into space for a second.
Anything else you need from me, ma'am?
Oh, it's just
Oh.
us.
Yeah, it's just you guys.
I
Captain,
sorry, I didn't realize she had left.
Yeah, you guys are in like the ready room. She'd left back to go to her office and like have a private chat with Zaminiar.
That's right. Either way, there's nothing else to do at the moment.
Frank's like, well, you could always read. Gives you a big fucking smile.
She doesn't even register that you said words.
I can't even right now.
Yeah. Frank
Can't read.
shrugs.
And with that, well, whatever you decide, I guess I'll follow. And she turns to leave.
Yeah. Frank's like, well,
She's already been called dangerous once today. Doesn't need to happen again.
yeah. Today? Has she been called dangerous today?
It was implied by Lashana.
That's fair.
You don't have to come, and I don't have to mark you as safe.
That was more of a you need to play ball with me, so start playing ball.
She felt like she was being pretty honest to you today, so she chooses it to take that as kind of another side, threat.
Yeah.
Oh, it was clearly a threat, but it was a threat to keep you grounded.
She
Yeah.
took it as, you're dangerous, and if you're not careful, I'll ground you.
You're talking to an emotionally stunted child soldier.
Pretty
True.
much, yeah.
Yeah, no, Frank probably, shrugs and goes, well, If anybody needs me, I'm gonna be teaching important life lessons to the kid.
Have you taught him how to throw a baseball yet?
He's not really a sports type.
What are you doing, man? Everybody needs to learn
Damn,
to throw
I've
baseball.
tried.
I know.
No,
I
I've
to throw
tried.
him a
I've tried.
baseball.
Yeah.
Might have been a problem that I did it from the ogre.
No, we did it on the top of the ship, just father-son style, and I just get the feeling that Murr would be like, this is kind of dumb and pointless.
You're not my dad.
He's also just bad at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there were a few times you were like, oh, he's gonna go over the edge of this. He's gonna go over the edge if I keep doing this. Like he's gonna fucking trip over something and just go plummeting.
Yeah, no, there's a couple like side shots of Fred just like and then like turning back around. You're doing great, Murr.
Doing great.
Eye on the ball. Come on, kid. Like but yeah, no, I'm just gonna cash in my downtime action now and say for the next week I'm just gonna be teaching Murr, dad stuff. How to shave, how to talk to the ladies, or guys, or whatever, I'm not judging. It's not like that's not whatever your bag is, that's fine, Murr.
I like that. That's kind of like his react every time. He's like, "Girl, or guys, I don't know. I forgot. It's 2036."
No, yeah. Frank's entire thing is like, shit. No, wait, hold on. I don't want to make him feel like isolated. Like I'm here. I'm supportive. I promise. Like, you know what I mean? I'm an ally. If somebody ever made fun of you, I would put up a rainbow flag immediately. I haven't even told you who I. No, it's okay. You don't have to. You need your space. Like you gotta.
He's one of those
yourself.
overly. He's one of those just overly. Oh man.
Yeah, he's very awkward when it comes to that.
There's also a little bit where he's like, "This totally isn't me overcompensating for the fact I killed your parents."
No, straight up. Yeah, so I'm going to raise my world's greatest dad stat.
I will say, I don't think that you can raise that unless you got it from doing that downtime action. I think that's in the errata.
Wait, okay, hold on. So I can't raise the trigger if I didn't get it specifically from doing downtime?
From the downtime
You
one
can
where
also
you, like, get
improve a
focused.
trigger from 2 to 4 or 4 to 6 by taking this downtime action.
All right, I might have misread the errata.
Yeah, I reread that and I was like,
So
Yeah.
if you're trying to get a new trigger, the DM gives you the new trigger.
Okay, that's what it was. There was something fucky in that.
Yeah. The GM will give your pilot a new +2 trigger based on your practice and training. You can also improve a trigger from 2 to 4 or 4 to 6 by taking this downtime action.
Yeah. Wow, I have 4 triggers all at 4. Excellent.
Bang, bang, bang for my devil trigger.
Bang, bang, bang.
I will say, this
Not
week after seeing that we're going back in the exact same direction that the Ochre Blade fuckhead is going, she is going to be, Indiana's going to be working on her sword play this week, so I'm going to use that trigger and send Master Swordsman from 4 to 6.
Nice.
You're going to let me just kill somebody with this sword one day, I promise.
Huh. Let you.
Oh, Frank has a chainsaw now, by the way.
Is Frank just gonna turn into... Like, is something bad's gonna happen to Murr and Frank's just gonna turn... Is this the origin story for,
no.
Beef?
Oh no,
Yeah,
stop it!
right?
No! No,
Yeah.
stop it!
No, Frank is a big old fan of retro FPSs. He's a big fan of boomer shooters. So having a chainsaw, he's like, man, I bet you I can, I bet you I can make this shit work.
Fair.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized the fact that she's using an assault sword, she is small enough and it is big enough. It looks, she makes the sword look big. And so it's kind of like, oh, this is like watching Guts from Berserk use this weapon.
Nice.
Cloud
So-
from Final Fantasy
Yeah, I was
VII.
about to say
Right.
Cloud Strife styling.
Right. It's not even, you know, the sword's not even that big. She's small.
So
Yeah.
this
Also,
mission's gonna
I just
be...
read it. Can I use the get focus downtime action to improve triggers such as assault or apply fists to faces?
You
Or can
can't
it only
use it
be used
on
to-
combat triggers.
Or can it only be used to improve the new triggers created using get focus? And then the word of Tom is the latter. Get focus cannot be used to improve the ranks of triggers that it was not used to create.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
that's fucking
What?
stupid.
I
That's
will
weird.
say, I am God here. So
Mm-hmm.
word of Tom is going to turn into word of Jim.
Huh.
I will allow you to improve triggers that get focus was not used to create, as long as they are not combat focused.
So I can't do the Master Swordsman. Okay.
I just realized I'm. In fact, I'll let it go through this time, because we're gonna let it kind of go with chess rules. You'd already taken your hand off the pawn, so we're
Yeah.
gonna leave it there.
It's fine if you want to do it that way because I can just do the you get a +2 every time you level up anyways, so to any trigger.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
You do?
focus. Yeah, getting focus is supposed to be like you get a new skill period.
I didn't
Yeah.
even get to use that.
I thought, yeah, leveling up, everyone got a +2 to a skill, a new talent. For level 3, I mean.
Yeah, and by the
Ah.
way, you got your first core bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Then yeah, fuck it. I'm also gonna be better at. What are you better at? Invent or create or hack or fix, Daniel?
I'm actually gonna create. I have invent and creator at 6. I'm gonna improve repair and fix to 6.
Mm.
I
Okay, so
learned
I'm
that.
gonna do-
I did learn that one from the downtime.
Yeah, I'm gonna do hack or fix at 6. That way both of us can fix a lot of shit.
In that case,
No, I'm gonna do blow something up at 6. Wait, would blow something up count as a combat skill?
Yeah, but again, we'll let it slide this time, just because I
Actually-
had
Maybe.
I fucked up the rule reading.
Is this
Okay.
mission gonna be in person, like on the feet on the ground, or is it gonna be mechs? It sounded like we were
I
gonna
mean-
be feet on the ground.
You could do either. I'll let you guys pick if you want to go in hard and heavy or soft and squishy.
I thought this was supposed
So-
to be a quiet
That's
mission.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you
what I
can be
was
quiet with mechs though.
Hmm.
Well, some of us can.
I
But
also giant monkey, making this shit look like Skull
I
Island.
think only the Hydra and the Riley.
Okay. As a matter of
Be
fact,
quiet.
so I figured out what I want to do, James.
mhm.
We're going to work on the first little project that we talked about, but rather than use the get creative function, can I say this is getting focused to get a +2 to wasteland mechanic and just have it as dry runs?
Yeah, I'll basically say that this is basically your like. Maybe you actually do read the artisan motorcycle repair, but you're intentionally ignoring the Zen and going for the motorcycle repair.
Right. Yes, because, yeah.
Because
We're
I was
gonna-
thinking I could make us a vehicle to get
Hmm.
on the ground.
You guys
Like
do have one vehicle.
Oh,
It's the buggy.
I could suppress its noise.
And you also have the little bird helicopter.
Make us stealth motorcycles.
No Nurks, no motorcycles.
No, stealth motorcycles. It's not a motorcycle, it's a stealth motorcycle, James.
Yeah, get it right.
No.
Only
being-
4-wheeled and up items are
Damn.
allowed in this game, which means you need to make us stealth 4-wheelers.
I think that'd even be harder.
Why is it that only 4-wheeled items are allowed?
I think it's
I'm just making
Oh,
shit
okay,
up.
you're just shit posting. Okay.
Yes.
Because that's something I wouldn't put past Lancer. Lancer's really good, but sometimes it has really weird specific rules.
I think it's because it was pretty much written by like one guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
The word
Oh.
of Tom. But so what are you, Hunter, and you, John, going to be doing?
Yeah, I'm looking at downtime actions right now.
I could invent slash create something. Just don't know what. Cause yeah, I could. I don't know. Is there a way to like make the buggy more stealth? Stealth buggy? If we decide to
I
go on the
mean,
ground.
you could work on it so
Like upgrade the muffler so it doesn't make as much noise. Give it a new
yeah,
paint
or
job.
try and get it to upgrade it to work off of fuck, what's the Abrams run off of? An electric turbine
Ooh.
engine to where it's real quiet unless you're right up next to it. Then it's actually really loud.
Could also try to upgrade it with a similar layout to the stealth suit, or similar outfit to the stealth suit that we can wear. Maybe not as solid of just straight going invisible, but
That would definitely be difficult because the way that the stealth suit works is it's basically it's not light bending tech, it's basically pigment tech. So you have to be sitting still long enough for it to be in effect, which is why if you take any action other than hide, or there's one other one, you are no longer invisible with a stealth suit.
you're not my dad.
No, I'm God.
Or I could just improve repair fix to 6. Shite. What are you doing, Computer King?
I think it's time for somebody to gather information. Find out as much as I can about Cairo.
Ooh, we might be able to do a scene about that if you want, because some good shit there.
Okay, I know what I can do.
Sure.
Can I invent slash create to apply a silence weapon to my little what is the drone I have? How is it described? Because I have a drone, a personal drone.
Oh God.
Oh, he's already knowing where it's going. Where is gear? Pilot gear.
Daniel, you're almost as bad as Brian, where you make a character and I just kind of go, "Oh God."
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. I don't do,
Yeah, it
like,
is.
overpowered bullshit.
Amar.
Not on purpose. Amar was literally just, I'm going to try and
Silren.
fight her, and that was fucking just ridiculous. That's
Amar,
not me.
Trell.
Silren, Kirik, Trell.
Silren isn't actually that strong, but Kirik going all mental sub was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Personal drone.
I don't
They're
make
fairly
strong
light.
characters. That's exactly what a power gamer would
How
say.
about, instead of making, since it's a small non-combat drone, why don't I just make it a silenced drone? Upgrade it so it can be more of a scout that I can fly around. Okay. How would that work? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'll allow it. Fuck it. This game's all about being weird, bonkers bullshit anyway. Do it.
Damn it out! It's
I
done
shouldn't
immediately.
allow things.
I shouldn't allow things.
This is something that it's more of. There's something I can use to like.
You can
scout
always
ahead.
make it temporary, James.
Fair.
How would you temporarily silence a drone?
It's actually a lot more reasonable than you'd think because as
Only if what
things
you're doing
move-
is temporary.
Well, it's like
So look, no. So even with like the B2 Spirit, yes, it has a coating on it that is supposed to suppress radar by basically retaining it. But the longer it flies through the air, that paint thins and strips because the molecules in the air basically act like a fine-grained sandpaper. So you need to reapply that radar deadening
Right. But
stuff
this
more
isn't
often.
paint.
Dude,
This is
I'll
just
do it this
painting
way.
the rotors out.
yeah, rotors spin, don't they?
Yeah, and I
And-
can maintain them. I can upgrade them, or not upgrade. I can just keep maintenance up. That's not a big
But it's
issue. It's
that's
inventing a new system
Okay.
to make
what I
them
will
silent.
say. It has the stealth capability now. You can either, next time you want to improve it, it can either keep the stealth capabilities or you can give it a different capabilities and it'll lose the stealth capabilities.
I'm just gonna keep it as a stealth drone. It's a nice little scout.
There you go. And we
Doesn't-
can just
does
say
non-combat
downtime.
drone.
You're doing the requisite maintenance to keep it working, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, it sounds like two of you are doing stuff that I actually want to do scenes for it because I want to see how you're going to do it. So it's going to be a roll off. We'll do. Computer King, high or low?
Hi.
We're starting with you then.
Okay.
So, what exactly are you doing to try and gather information on Kairos?
Well, since we're still on land, right? We haven't hit the sea.
Yeah, right now
Or are we
you're basically traveling northeast through Guatemala to Belize, and then you're going to go from Belize into the ocean.
Yeah. So as we go through places, we take stops. We go to bars and check things out and ask around about stuff. Like, have you ever seen this symbol before? And show them the Kairos symbol.
Most people just kind of, I mean, a lot of these people don't know a lot about what's going on. So they kind of look at it and they're like, they shake their heads or they say something in Spanish or Maya. But you've been working this for a few days now. You get up to leave from the bar and someone bumps into you and it's like, oh, sorry. Then keeps going, but left a note like just up against you, like folded and tucked into like the crease of your vest if you're wearing like your combat vest.
Yeah, gotcha.
And pull it out, look at it, and it's a radio signal and it says 3:30 a.m.
Right. Time to go to comms and ask for them to tune into that for me. Or I forget. Long has his own radio. Do it myself, or bring other people in on it. I will tell the boss that I've got a tip, which may lead to more information about Kairos.
She takes the note, she looks at it. A bit sketchy. Got this off of somebody that obviously didn't want to say anything, but tip's a tip. Do you mind if I accompany you this night, morning, whatever you want to call it?
Not a problem. Do this in the comms station instead of me hiding away in my monkey and pretending I didn't find anything.
I appreciate this. As I said before, no more secrets.
Exactly.
I'll force Ryoto to stay up if I must. I think a threat to his pay might get that to work.
If it bothers his pay, it'll always work.
Oh yeah, and you know that's true. You know, best way to get Ryota to do anything is either offer or threaten him money or access to alcohol. Because he's a hedonist's hedonist. And you need money to party.
A lot of money to party.
Especially other people's money. But yeah, you go through the rest of your day doing whatever. Midnight rolls around. 1, 2, 3. You remember that the note said 3:30 a.m. to tune into a very specific radio frequency on the AM band, not the FM band. So you head up to comms. Ryota's there. He looks fucking exhausted. Captain's there. She looks. She's always in her suit, and her suit is always well pressed. You have no idea how she does it. Some people, like even Greasy's like, I think she's got nanobots in it. You know, keep the thing pressed, no creases, no wrinkles. Come to think of it, patented. But the boss nods to you as you walk in. Perfect timing. He's just channeling in, and Ryota's sitting there with his big fuck off headset on, flicking through AM channels and frequencies. You get to the one, it's just static. It's 325. Keep listening, just static. The occasional chirp of some sort of interference from another radio station. You know, a lot of hissing interfering with the other hissing from another radio frequency. But 3:30 rolls around, and you hear, or quickly let me, I had a note, but I didn't make it a digital note because I'm dumb. I wrote it down at like 4 in the morning. Oh, there's my pen. So, it comes on, and at first it's just a tone, like a one-note tone, just a low beep, beep. But then you hear, it's very crackly and staticky, which means obviously you're far away from whatever receiver is playing this. But it's a little small version of Yankee Doodle Dandy, just do 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 do, and then it crackles to a stop, and then you hear New Orleans 5 6 5 6, Atlanta 8 2 1 4, Richmond 8 5
Have a paper and start writing this down.
5 4, Washington 0 7 0 4, and then Yankee Doodle Dandy starts playing again, and when it stops, same numbers and cities repeat. New Orleans 5 6 5 6.
What was the second city?
It went New Orleans, Atlanta, Richmond, Washington. And it does this 3 or 4 times, and then it just goes back to static.
Okay. Those areas have got to be real big points of interest. I mean, DC, isn't that where they used to have the head of, well, not North America, I think it was called the United States again, but it wasn't so small?
Yeah, did they say Washington State or D.C.?
You assume they mean DC just because when you look at like the other cities they mentioned, they're all along the East Coast or the Gulf. Because you got New Orleans, using my screen as like a map, you got like New Orleans, Atlanta, Richmond, DC.
Yeah, because they're mentioning cities, not states.
That's also a good point. Yes, DC is still the capital of the original 13 colonies. But that means that New Orleans is the only city there that is part of the Confederacy. If that's important or not, I don't know. But we found a numbers station. We'll keep in tune with it as long as we're in range and see what it says each night.
Yeah. If it's near any one of those cities, we should be getting closer.
There's also a very specific, there's a very while it was playing Yankee Doodle Dandy in the cities and everything, it was very quiet, and you had to kind of listen through. You ever heard of the Russian woodpecker?
No.
So, Russian woodpecker refers to the fact that a lot of radios, especially in Central Asia and Eastern Europe around the Ural Mountains, would hear this very specific kind of woodpecker sound in all their radio transmissions, especially on certain wavelengths. So it was called the Russian woodpecker, and people think it had something to do with spies or radars or something. But you would maybe know enough about it to know that it existed for your background as a basically a super soldier. That the EU had a lot of strange radar stations hidden in the Urals that made what was called the Russian woodpecker.
You know who would probably know a lot about number stations?
Frank.
Our insane conspiracy theorist.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, Frank would know a little bit just because he'd find him interesting and curious, but if you want someone who actually knows about number stations, I'm pretty sure that, like, Greasy Sweet, and also
Sin.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that they would know more about it, because those are definite conspiracy theory things.
That is a thought. You could take it down to Greasy.
Greasy knows about all the spy stuff like number stations, so bring this to him, see if he knows anything about how those cities are linked other than well, one of them was part of the Confederacy. I don't get it. Maybe he will.
And what's funny is Greasy Sweet is a man with, you can say a lot of things about him. You can say a lot of negative things about him. But the man has a commitment and a work ethic that's frankly a little frightening. No one knows when he sleeps. Some people think he doesn't sleep. Some people think he doesn't sleep and that's why he is the way he is. So even though it's like, at this point, like 3:35 or 3:45 in the morning, you could head on right down the fabrication bay and he'd be right there throwing scrap into the reprocessor.
I was waiting. I was asking the chief if we should.
If you're willing to deal with him going on about stories and theories, between him and Sin for who's the most likely to know pointless spy minutia. Though given that most of what Sin knows comes from the fact that Frank gave him the Warren Commission for whatever reason, I'm certain it'll have something to do with MK Ultra to him.
It always
Probably.
leads back to MK Ultra.
Get the lizard people.
Or JFK's assassination. Maybe Kairos did it. Who knows?
This is going to be interesting. So I take the info down to Greasy Sweet.
Yeah, and he's down there in his fucking red mechanic onesie. He has a big fucking note on it, says sweets. And he's just covered in oil. And there's like a busted down. Basically, you guys had been given scrap rights to the mechs you destroyed.
Yeah.
So he pulled them in, and he's got the big one, the Demolisher, strung up like a fucking marionette. And it's just pouring oil out of this puncture hole. He's like, God fucking damn it, those fucking stupid federales motherfuckers, they come in here and they break shit. And now I have to put it back. Ah, it's getting every... Oh, hey, Ella, how you doing?
Hey,
He's fucked.
Yeah, I got some distraction for you then.
He's wiping this, and this isn't even like good quality oil. This is gutter oil. He's wiping it all off on his one piece, and he's like, "Eh, what was that?"
Number stations.
You see this little glimmer in his eyes. See, takes his still dirty hands, runs up through his thinning hair. The other one then just starts twiddling with the very long handlebar that comes up to his mustache. He's like, "Number stations. Well, you're speaking my language. All right, what kind of lizard people we dealing with?"
I don't know about lizard people, but he holds up paper with the numbers and cities. There's a number station we found that's broadcasting this. I'm wondering how the cities are connected and what the numbers mean.
5, 6, 8, 0, 2, 1. I don't know what the numbers mean. It's probably some sort of cipher. You see, a lot of times, the way these work is whatever tone they play before. What did they play for? Was there any tone before this, or was it just some lady reading off numbers?
Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. Let's see. Well, that could make sense. These are all, are or were American cities. You know, Yankees.
Before I start actually working on this, is this a legitimate code that you've made, or...
They're just numbers. Only one.
I was about to start. I was about to... Sorry.
James, you should have made us an actual cipher, because Gunnar and I would probably stay up till like 5 in the morning cracking that shit.
I was gonna say, I was
a
actually
good
thinking,
puzzle.
well, let's see. If we just take the title, and then we go here and use that as a... Yeah, sorry.
I will say, one of those dates actually means or one of those codes.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Christ.
Let's see. All right.
I shouldn't talk. Yeah,
We will keep that as player character knowledge, or as player knowledge and not character knowledge.
One of those numbers one of those number chains actually means something. And I spoiled the surprise. Yeah, he's looking at it and he's like, "Oh, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Well, these all were American cities. I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you ask those Sons of Liberties characters you always see running around with their fucking, over there shit, they say it's all America. So, let me look at this. So you got Nolans. That's how you say it, by the way. I don't care what nobody says. It's Nolans. I ain't even from there, and I know so. Got Atlanta. It's Georgia. Well, if you could trace a line, if you wanted. Specifically starts at New Orleans, ends at DC, so you got a line going up the East Coast. Well, you would be following the East Coast, except, I guess they don't pay attention to Florida. I wouldn't either. That's America's wang, God's waiting room, still fucked. Numbers I don't know.
I love Greasy.
Usually with these numbers, ain't really numbers. I mean, they are numbers, literally the numbers. But you're not gonna know them unless you're one of the spooks, because they got their own little code. Sometimes it's even by person to person, and these numbers mean something. They're orders. Don't know what they mean, obviously. I ain't no spook.
What is
He gives you a look for a moment like, "You ain't no spook, are you? How'd you get this anyway? Who is this for? Who made this? Who are you working for?"
I'm working for the Calliope, so that's why we need to find out. Boss is in on it, don't worry.
Oh, the boss is in on it. She a good girl.
She's with us.
She is the boss. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Yeah, where'd you get this stuff? This is primo.
Yeah, it's just out there broadcasting, just fiddling around at 3 in the morning.
Just on some unencrypted radio station. Either they're fucking ballsy or they's old school. That's some Cold War shit.
You think it's left over from the Cold War?
I don't know, I doubt it. I mean, here's the thing. Cold War ended, 30, 40 years ago? And even more important, this isn't saying sacre bleu or teas and cream. The woman, she have an accent? And she didn't. She had just like a very plain English voice.
I tell him.
See? And if it was those fucking tea crumpet suckers up in there, they'd be going over here like, oh, hello, puppet, says your numbers up. And if it was the French, well, it wouldn't work, because it's from France. And if it was them former Nazis, well, the Krauts, they'd probably have more than 4 numbers. See, it'd be like 6 numbers all strung together, because they really like making things inefficient. They just like numbers. I don't get it. And if it was the Czechs, and then he just keeps going on and on.
So no idea what these numbers mean. I will interrupt at a certain point.
Oh, no. Like I said, that might be meaning to these, but it's probably some sort of secret spy code. You know, one spy's got a bunch of things in this, see, a 5656 could mean, you know, sit your ass down, someone's looking for you. Or it could mean, go and ice that dude we talked about last week. Or it could mean, hey, get the Deaddrop that's in the fucking sewers over there. Could mean a lot of things. Could mean nothing. Could be it's just they're trying to throw you off your trail. That's how the lizard people do it.
All right. That's all you got for me. That's good. I'll check with Sin, too, because he's learned a lot from you. Might remember something you don't.
Yeah. He knows where to go to get the real shit. He hands you back the piece of paper, which now has this big, like, 2 fingerprints on it of fucking oil. And he turns around and he's like, that bitch is still leaking. God, how much is in there? It's like 5 fucking gallons. Gonna need more than a drip pan.
So Howler goes to find Sin.
Sin, are you still awake at 3, 4, like, fucking 4 in the morning?
He's working on a drone. Of course he's awake. He ain't stopping until he's done.
He might actually be in fabrication, man. I should have changed the thing.
Probably. That would make sense. Hold on. Depending on Twitch rules, you know. Just gotta.
Well, Sin, if you're actually down in fabrication, you heard the whole thing. Because,
Yeah.
Greasy Sweet doesn't know he don't know the meaning of the word indoor voice.
True.
I'm indoors and I got a voice. Fuck you. Don't like it? Get back.
I fucking love Greasy.
That's why I spent so much time with him. Would I roll something for that, or is just something else I might know? Like, because technically I know it's a date, but
you could roll me like let's say you're like read a sitch or something.
yeah, read a situation.
Yeah. Roll read.
Yeah, no, I rolled my high roll on Vent Create.
No, these are
Got a
numbers.
25. Yeah.
You're a little mathed out from like maybe you had to learn like you were trying to put this basically not even quite a plating or like it's not paint. You're basically putting these pigment cells all over this drone that would react to whatever's around it.
Oh, I
And
wasn't
that took
making it
some-
invisible. I was just making the rotors silent and shit.
Oh, the rotor's silent? I thought you were like
I
applying
mean, I'll make it
stealth to
invisible if that's what's happening, sure.
Well, you just said like the capabilities of your stealth suit.
Well, no, that was to make a vehicle that way.
Oh.
But I mean, I'll
Okay.
take that.
So I'll allow it because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was just
Either
gonna make
way.
like, you know, so it's a silent drone. Just
It'll still have the same restrictions as the actual stealth suit, where if you're doing anything other than, I think it's move or hide, you stop being invisible.
yeah, it just has a camera on it. It's literally a scout drone normally, so that's fine.
Yeah, but
Um,
it took a lot of very precise measurements, and it's hard to get these pigment cells working in a way quick enough to where it's not like, oh, it has to sit still for 3 minutes before it's
Right.
invisible.
Probably has to move slower. That's fine.
Oh, definitely. But we assume with the hard suit, like you're moving slow enough that you're allowing the pigment cells to adapt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, although would is it something maybe Set might know or might recognize? Because he is now slightly unchained.
I'll let him roll a read of situation roll. He probably doesn't
a
have any
0,
bonuses
yeah.
to it, so just like a
That's-
d20.
Nope. He's too busy playing music.
Yeah, he's Set likes to go in loops with things. So basically, he goes like the start of music history, like Western music history, goes all the way to modern music, loops back around. And right now he's in like chamber music from like the late Renaissance, and he's trying to apply all of these numbers to like time signatures and things.
So he's probably taking the numbers that he's been given from this and is out trying to implement them into music.
And they keep coming back negative, and it's making him very, very, very frustrated. Like, he has about the temper of a small child, so he doesn't like being stymied like this.
He's a student class in PC now, or in HP now.
Yeah, which means he's semi-sentient, but also...
He can make complex decisions and judgments and act independently without instruction.
Well, what
He's at least a teenager.
10-year-olds make complex decisions every day.
But can they act independently? No.
They like to think they can.
Yeah, true.
He's
like 14-year-old. So he's
all right.
moody.
Well, then he's got a
moody.
teenager's
He is
temper, which is
playing
actually probably
emo,
worse.
yeah. He is playing like emo music.
I quite enjoy my chemical romance.
Your numbers mean nothing to me, much like my existence. Please leave.
But like, he like gets so frustrated with the numbers at one point that he not only deletes the numbers that you sent him, but he activates Legion's like car alarm basically, just as a bit of a temper tantrum. Which it's on a different deck, but you can still hear it.
I would just like to imagine somewhere in some corner of some training room, we have Indiana hacking up a mannequin with a sword and is hearing this thinking,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Like, you're used to, like, you've got up at this point because you're training yourself, because you're not going to let that old woman beat you.
Correct.
So you're just hacking away at, like, some mannequin that's one of those, like, jelly things that they make so that what's it called? Impact jelly?
Yeah, impact gel.
Yeah, so that it sort of has a give and a feel to it like flesh, so that you can kind of react like, okay, I hit the guy, sword's now stuck in his femur, how do I get it out? Cleanly. Without, having to drag this motherfucker along screaming and kicking. But you're just in there then. It's like a car alarm, but louder, much louder.
And her first thought is, what the fuck weird shit is Frank playing now?
Frank's probably the only one of you guys that ain't up right now.
Frank's an old man. He goes to bed.
He
Yeah,
goes
this is like
drinking
4
with
in the
Ryota
morning.
until he's not allowed to.
Yeah, that's what he used to do, but when he can't go out drinking and having a good time, he's fucking just done.
Well, he's allowed to go out drinking with Ryota, but they have to have a third.
I'll go.
True. He's
I think
probably
they
not-
specifically said not sin. I think I remember that scene, and I think she said, you need someone else, not sin.
God.
Because she knows that'd be worse. She's a mom. She knows her kids.
Take
She knows
Howler.
they're putting the 3. Howler probably would be a good one, because he seems like he'd be a party pooper. Just a little bit.
Just a bit. As soon as he finds out he's supposed to be the chaperone.
Eh.
Damn it, I don't get to drink. I gotta watch
I'm
it.
sit here in the corner like this.
You get the designated driver wristband.
Yeah.
No, that's when you just drink with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't. You or Set can't really make heads or tails of these numbers.
Got
You
nothing.
assume that it's some cipher.
It's a goddamn cipher. That's what it is.
It's the Enigma code.
God. Quick, someone get Turing on this shit.
It's not an Enigma cipher. I would know that.
If it were the Enigma cipher, this would be really easy to crack.
Mm-hmm.
You'd still have to go to the internet. You'd still have to find the online Turing computer thing. And then you have to plug it in by fucking hand.
Here's the
Like
problem.
with the Turing computer.
It's all in Cherokee.
Yeah,
Or-
right?
Who are the code talkers? Arapaho or Cherokee?
Navajo.
Navajo.
Yep.
You're speaking the world's most complicated language. Make them stop.
God.
Pretty much.
But so I will let you put down in your information that you got all that Cairo cipher. Can make of that what you will. The DM fucked up and kind of told you that it was a bunch of fucking dummies except for one of them.
No worries.
Yeah.
Hey, we weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I have no idea that one of them is a date.
And you know, actually, Daniel wasn't here, I think, to hear that until just now, so...
I had my phone with me.
Oh, gotcha.
So, we got one more person who needs a scene, says Bob as he exits through a portal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me, I'm causing one.
God.
Is that something that I could hear Bob saying? Got one person who needs a scene, and that's me, I'm causing it. As he pulls out a crossbow, shoots at you, misses completely.
Got him.
But
Alright, I'm gonna leave now. Have fun. No.
hey, we like Bob. It's funny that he's threatening and yet kind of incompetent, but in the best way.
Yeah. He's not quite to the level of, like, Sonic's side villain, but he's also definitely not, like,
Sonic
threat.
Cycle. He's fucking Robotnik.
God.
Those adventurers. They're gonna take the chaos We are going after Chaos Emeralds pretty much.
God.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Alright, you heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. Coming Sunday, we're killing everybody and starting a new game.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys have made fun of my shit. I get to make fun of your shit.
What's that I
Amen.
heard? New characters?
Listen,
Cool.
I get don't tempt James with a good time.
Right.
We're already bringing
We
in
all
new
have-
characters Sunday, okay? You can't threaten me with that.
While making new
God.
characters, they have to be anthropomorphic creatures that are very fast.
They all have to be edgy hedgehogs.
Run it down, just beat us down.
You saying that reminds me. Found out there's a college whose initials are OKWU, and all I can think of when I read it is Okwoo.
Again in Oklahoma.
Okwoo.
God.
Tell me, for whom
So
do you
anyway,
fight? Yes.
Jesus.
Long fucking Robotnik enhanced tangent short. We put the animal in the robot.
Yeah.
Frank, you wake
Yeah.
up. Dad
Yeah.
hours.
Yep.
You're gonna go be dad.
Yep. So, probably it's more like a montage of like, him like teaching fucking Myrrh how to shave, being like, playing some bad catch with Myrrh on like the deck of the ship as we're like trotting through the water,
I like to think, like when you're teaching him to shave, that's the one day when instead of it being like, oh no, this is going to be difficult shaving, I have like an outbreak of acne that I'm probably going to end up,
Yeah.
ripping the skin. It's, oh no, I have this fucking rock poking out of my cheek.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really know how to do precision. My my uncle was a big fan of precision. He had like this crazy like handlebar thing going on. I never fucked with it. I like the beard, but you gotta learn how. And like all of you, by the way, see Frank without a goatee for the first time probably ever. He probably has never shaved the goatee around you guys. He's only been on the Calliope for like 2 years. Yeah, he's like teaching Murr how to shave his peach fuzz and shit. Or like maybe painting some minis with him, you know? Like having Murr do the presidential fitness test, just to be like, now if you're gonna be going out into combat zones, I need to make sure that you're combat ready. Can you do a pull-up, Murr?
The pacer.
He can do a
fitness
pull-up.
test.
He can do a pull-up?
He can do one.
God.
All
I need to
right,
find that
now do a second one. You never know whenever you're gonna go up a cliff, see something dangerous, have to drop down, and then pull yourself back up stealthily.
He tries, and then he just lets go and falls onto his back, and just like, I'm okay.
God.
Yeah.
I can't wait until he hears the Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively
Frank
gets more
probably-
difficult as it continues.
He probably memes on that. He probably is like, alright, so we're gonna do the fitness pacer test. However, I don't have one of those old tapes, so here's how it's gonna go. The fitness pacer test, that's right. Every time I say beep, you better turn your ass around and do a dead sprint the opposite direction.
How hard do
But
you
yeah.
push him, by the way?
Not that hard. He pushes him out of his comfort zone in several different ways. But like maybe like the last scene is just like Frank and him are sitting on like the top deck, you know. Both in like
He's breathing hard, and it's ragged. It's like when you listen to someone breathe when they... In fact, he probably does have pneumonia. He gets pneumonia in bouts.
Yeah. Well, they're probably both sitting down. Frank has set up deck chairs, you know, the lounge type.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking like those shitty little fucking plastic ones that you turn around, they make the loud screech sound.
No, yeah, no, like poolside chairs, you know.
The ones with the built-in can holder and the arm?
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Frank probably cracks open a beer, and then, without looking at Murr, kind of like nudges it towards him and goes, yeah, you earned it, kid.
He gives it a look, and the way he takes a very small sip of it, he intentionally turned it towards you so the Surgeon General's warning is pointing at you.
Yeah. He's like,
And you know that he's the kind of person to be cheeky like that.
oh, for sure. And Frank's like, one beer ain't gonna kill you. I had about 30 a night whenever I was your age. Don't do that, by the way.
I was going to say, you
Yeah.
say that like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
Goes, yeah. You know, my dad never did this shit with me. Takes like a drink.
My dad did hug me. I think you need to talk to Lashana about this, not me.
Does he say that?
No. But
Yeah.
that would be funny if, like, Frank just starts fucking breaking down and
Oh,
blubbering.
no.
See,
No,
I
it-
imagine he'd do it a lot like Trevor. My daddy didn't love me when I was a kid.
Nah, that'd be if he was super drunk or something, maybe.
We've never
Um,
seen that before.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. But no, he kind of looks over at Murr and he's like, you know, my son, kind of fucking hates me. Tried to do this stuff with him, but, never really had the time.
That actually does make him, like, fidget a little in place. He's like, yeah, you talked about that. He knew you. He didn't like that you were
Yeah,
a ranger.
yeah. And he, he's like, listen, I'm sorry if, I got you in hot water there earlier. And, you know, you're And he kind of like looks off, and he's like, "You're a good kid." Like looks away from him as he says that.
Yeah, he looks down at the beer can, kind of thumbing the raised rim. It's like, yeah, it's not that I thought people would be upset that she was infected. I thought just it's like you bring in a stray animal and you find out that it's sick. You kick it out before you know that you want to keep it around.
He goes, "No, I understand. Be honest with you, you didn't do nothing wrong. You told the boss, and she said you to sit on it. Can't blame you for that. Shit got a little heated, but I think in the end you followed your instincts, and for the most part they were right. I'm the adult in this situation. I should have been a little bit more responsible about that and thought about it before I said anything."
Yeah. Well, do you think she's gonna wanna stick around? Because she kind of sounded like next time we're gonna stop somewhere, she's bouncing.
Kind of leans back in size and is like, "You know, be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. Hope she does, though. Stick around, that is. She's a good kid. You know, I think she's scared."
You just called the emotionally stunted child soldier. That's a quote from you, by the way. A good
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah. He genuinely believes that.
Which part? The emotionally stunted child soldier part? Or...
So, I didn't say that in character. Thank you very much.
I know.
No, he genuinely believes that Indiana is a good person. You know? And, he's like, I don't know. Between you and me, I think she's probably a hell of a lot tougher and a hell of a lot more sensitive than all of us. Except for maybe you, and kind of like ruffles Mur's hair.
Yeah, and he ducks his head down. He's like, now you wonder why I always keep the hood up.
Yeah, whatever. And, kind of like looks off and goes, so listen, I have this feeling that, near future's gonna get a little bit muddy, a little bit confusing. Taking a job from someone who I definitely don't trust, and to be honest with you, I have a feeling that, we've had some signs to come of some stuff. I just want you to know, no matter what happens, it's you and me. I got your back. And, I care.
I know that. I wouldn't be here if not for that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I figured as much, but, always helps to say it, I guess. And, like, he, like, clearly looks a little bit uncomfortable, And kind of, like, looks off at the sunset. Is just like, one of these days, I think I'm gonna buy a house. Anyway, kind of snaps out of it. It's like, it's getting a little bit late. You should probably start getting ready for bed and all that.
I think I'm gonna stay. And, like, by now you guys are out to sea.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I'm going to stay out just a little bit longer. The moist air is good for, the skin.
Yeah. He nods and goes, all right, well, do you need anything? You obviously know where to find me. And kind of picks up the cooler and goes, you get one. Points at the beer. And then, starts to walk off. And he's like, oh, And we should do this more often.
Yeah. Maybe next time we can get the Caduceus running.
He smiles and goes, you know what? That's not a bad idea. And it's like, night, Redster.
Nods. And just goes back to watching the waves.
Yeah, and Frank just goes inside and fucking chills in his room.
Fair. Has anyone else got anything, any scenes they want to have done during the week?
I would just say the only person that would Sin would notice this. Indiana has come down to the fab room several times looking for parts.
Okay.
Yeah, and every time she does, she comes downstairs, she's quiet, but then you hear a, "Hey, Rambo, how you doing?"
Yeah, that's about how it goes. And she's not down very long. She's basically just grabbing bits and pieces of scrap. She's practicing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
It was just like, yeah, Sin would notice.
If you don't mind, bounce off that a little bit with you, Sin. Maybe after one of the times she comes down, Greasy's like, "Hey, see you later, Rambo. Don't break nothing. I'll know if you do." And kind of turns around, tossing more junk into basically a recycler, and it's like, "Yeah, hey, Cinny boy, cinnamon bun, cinnamon toast crunch."
No, none of those.
Does Cinnamon Toast Crunch even exist anymore?
Yes. Capitalism, like all cockroaches, survived the apocalypse.
They just
But,
rebranded.
Very true.
It's not
Cinnamon Toast
Kroger.
Crunch.
It's not Kroger
Having
anymore.
effective cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Kellogg.
Effective cockroaches is the cockroaches with rocks growing out of them.
Yeah, you've heard stories. Actually, apparently the
God.
things that react the worst to that actually get infected worse than humans and other mammals with Xenarite is mollusks.
Mollusks.
Very
Yeah.
like snails, octopi, squids.
What does that even look like?
Octopi.
They get it so bad, especially like snails, that they look like roving little rocks. Because there's so permeable skin gets in there, and they look like a cluster of Xenarite crystals that have gotten up and started to wander off.
Have we
Hold
heard
on.
tales of spontaneous snail combustion?
No, when they die, they pretty much do because they're so infected.
Hold on. Can I just get one thing?
Uh-huh.
Oh boy! I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok! That's just what that made me think of.
Octoroks.
God.
I was trying not to go there. Freaking.
Oh my god, does this make... sorry, all I can think of is Rocky Mountain oysters and the new connotation
God.
there.
Oh
I mean,
God.
they are mollusks.
No, they are
clams.
not.
No, they're
Rocky
not.
Oh,
Mountain
they're
oysters
body
are-
valves. I'm wrong.
No, Rocky Mountain oysters are something completely
yeah.
different, James.
Those oyster. My brain was still stuck on what animals are, But no, you'll every now and then you'll see news reports about if you're going into tropical areas or along the coast, beware of Xenarite infected slugs. They've been known as nature's hand grenades.
Nature's hand grenades. Hell yeah. That's metal.
But yeah, he's like, you're like, no, none of those. I'll keep trying. There ain't a lot of good things I can say that have sin in them. Although they got a whole tax named after you. That's why I don't smoke no more.
Wait. He stopped smoking because they tax it.
The sin tax.
Because
Too
no.
much.
So literally, because I don't believe in taxes. You're taxing my.
What do you think? I don't care who the IRS sends. I ain't paying taxes.
That's not how that works.
I
But,
mean, I love the idea though, and honestly, that's what some
now you
people
say it.
hope that's how it would work, but
That he's like, hey, what do you think about Rambo? I know that you and her and John and her and Frank and John and all of you guys is all together all the time. Being buddy Power Rangers and all that. Come to think of it, if I could figure out how to get all your mechs combined into one super mech, I'll do it.
I don't doubt it.
However,
we need a Voltron.
the problem with that is something called the inverse square law. Just because it's bigger don't mean it's stronger.
Uh,
And also, you're a big fucking target. I mean, the first time we see anything that can float, fly, and, flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee, you're fucked. So anyways, what do you think about Rambo? Then she's a class act doll.
Yeah, she put her life on the line to protect Frank, so figure she's one of us.
Think she thinks that?
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be so fitting when I called her Rambo. She got that whole I'm gonna do the mission thing. Just hope she don't go full Rambo on us. I mean, I don't want to get killed by fucking spikes.
I mean, I wouldn't quite be worried about that. I think I could take it.
He looks you up and down. He's like, oh no. You seen her use that toothpick?
Not really.
It's kind of embarrassing at first. Then it's kind of interesting. Then it's kind of scary. Then it's really interesting.
Greasy? How long has Greasy been watching Indiana and where?
You don't know.
Now
Greasy
I'm
is actually an
scared.
ascended deity. I see all things. I know all things. I
Right.
am all things.
Right now that toothpick's stuck in a femur.
Oh, it makes a crunch. Like you ever take a ham hock and just it's like that. Don't know how I know that. I used to be a butcher,
Right. Where are we going with this?
Yeah, to make a bigger digression. I don't know. She a good kid, but kind of an ice queen. And I don't know if you can thaw the ice queen without killing her.
Oh, I suppose there's ways. Usually the heat of fire in battle will do it, but who knows?
Yeah, well, you keep the heat of fire away from all your fucking mechs, cause shit breaks on those that Mandy can't scream at enough to make it spontaneously recombobulate. It's got put back together. That's me.
Oh, I won't do that to you.
Also, request. Next time you guys fight some mechs and you get salvage rights, don't bring me pieces of shit that are literally made out of a Honda. Look at this thing.
It handles like a Honda Civic.
It's got the front half of a car on top of some fucking chicken legs. I didn't even find an engine in it. I don't know if it had an engine.
I think it probably got blown up at some point.
Question. Can this be the one that Indiana blew the gun off of?
Yeah. And look at this one. It's covered in fucking rhinestones. They ain't even real. They're zirconium. Can't use that shit. Oh, I gotta look all rich and fucking fancy because I'm some cartel schmuck. He didn't even get real diamonds. What do we like to call? What a goblin. What a class A goblin. With a capital G.
Goblins aren't so bad once you kind of get used to how weird they are, but
No, not like a goblin, like not none of that commit stuff. I meant like goblins, like goblins. Not goblins, but goblin.
I don't like them.
goblins. I don't like goblins.
right.
I'm gonna eat the noses.
The noses.
You know what they say about goblins is they hate rugs.
Those orcs.
That's orcs. Yeah, goof.
Goblins. Orcs are just big goblins.
Prove him wrong.
I mean, this is the same argument as dogs under 25 pounds are cats, and cats are pointless.
Hey,
There's a cat on screen.
She's
Watch your fucking mouth.
no. I don't think I own 3 cats.
Ron
There's
Swanson is a cruel mister.
Yes.
There's also probably a lot of cats on the Calliope. At least one, because Mousers.
Mousers or mouses?
Things that hunt mice.
Oh, mousers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mousers.
I was thinking like the brand
No,
of
not
firearm.
Well, there might be some Mousers on board. I don't know. We know that
Mountain
HK
cats.
still exists.
Hey, if you can convince Ryota that there's money behind it, you could probably get him to buy a lot of shit.
He's probably... You know what his personal defense weapon is? It's a Nambu. They jam every 3rd shot. If you squeeze the grip hard enough, they go off.
What caliber?
Fuck, what were those?
Is it one of those? Is it one of those
Sounds like-
Nambu hunting pistols that are just an obscenely large caliber?
No, this is a World War
This is
II
the
officer's
standard?
pistol.
It's like 9mm Luger, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's a 9mm Luger, but instead of having Luger energy, it's got crackhead energy, which is why it jams every 3rd shot. Where's the leak, ma'am? But
God.
yeah, we probably zoom out on Greasy loudly and with a lot of expletives and other colorful language, not in the sense of swearing, but he just thinks of the weirdest shit to say, explaining why he doesn't like these cartel mechs.
They are pieces of shit. That's why we destroyed them.
It's got pants on it!
It's got pants.
They made pants for it! You know how much denim that book probably took?
That's why we destroyed it.
Good. Good.
We
One
burned
fucking
most
less-
of the pants off of that shit.
Yeah. But he's like pointing like a little section where it's still there. He's like, good. I know that the Geneva Convention got downgraded to the Geneva Suggestion, but that's just one crime against humanity I can't stand.
God damn.
This episode is just Greasy Sweets laying out banger after banger of phrase.
God.
I love. One of these days I'm gonna play him in a campaign. Just him. It's fun. It's fun. Good time. If you don't
Hey.
like it, get brand.
He could be doing jungle ops in Cosmos.
I hate it there. It's all fucking moist. You know how bad my pits smell? Probably growing mushrooms.
Okay.
But anyway, long greasy story short. Yeah, the captain has told you all, by the way, that she has come to an agreement with Zeminiar. It is 12.5 million chevs up front
Huh.
Not bad.
with fuel and other consumables paid for there and wherever you go to next,
Ow.
as long as it's within North America or Central America. So they're not going to be like, you can't go on a wild fucking excursion down to around the Cape of
We can't
Cape
go to
Hope.
Australia?
Yeah, no,
Nah.
they won't do, because that would be outrageous.
And what
But,
do we get after the job is done?
that's the 12.5 million is like, that's your
The full
contract
paycheck?
completion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the pit. But for every piece of physical evidence, like physical material you bring back to be discussed, what constitutes a piece,
Mm.
you will get a bounty of 500,000 chefs.
Ooh. Alright. I acquiesce to this, pending seeing what happens, but I like the fact that we get our chefs up front, because that means if we have to cut loose, because these are obviously the bad guys, the only people we piss off are obviously the bad guys.
Obviously.
6.
Does everyone else agree to
5,
these terms?
6. Yes.
Yeah.
Works for me.
That Kishi captain has helm slightly change course. And how is everyone getting ready for the fact that all you really know is it's some dinky little island out in the Caribbeans that's got like a base on it, and you've been told to attempt this in ways other than kicking in the door, waving the M35 Mjolnir, the aspect of a dark god.
Yeah, so Frank's not really at all a stealth character. Even outside of his mech, he has like heavy armor and shit. So
I
Frank
will
knows
explain
his role.
this.
Hmm.
Zeminiar very briefly told all of you, like in a secondary. In fact, he probably does call all of you out. Like when you guys agree to it, he's there on like another, voice call. And he's like, I want you to, he explains it like, you're going to be arriving on the 10th. I want you to wait until the 11th before you commence operations. Tropical storm will be moving in. The heavy rain, coupled with the electrical interference from the storm itself, should provide you with enough cover. It's one of the only ways that the Calliope will be able to move up close enough to the island in order for you to... Well, they would see the Calliope coming before their sensors found it.
That makes sense.
Much like Kong.
And you're basically you've been in situations like this before, where the way that you do stuff like this is basically hop out of the Calliope. Your mechs are sealed, and just walk around on the seafloor until you physically walk up the island, or climb up it if it's like a sheer drop. But 1 second while I get this picture pulled up, because Roll20's not playing nice.
I was going to say, Sala is now capable of short jumps, and by short jumps, I mean about 10 squares, something like that.
Hey, I don't have to walk on the seafloor.
Remember,
I've got-
they do have radar.
I've got an EVA system. In zero gravity underwater environments, I can fly and are not slowed.
I'm tying myself to the back of Sin. He's just gonna tow cable me.
So, we're gonna walk underneath, huh?
He
Okay.
also shows you a map like this.
Oh, here.
God.
Give me 1
This
sec.
is-
I can put this out to our viewers. 1 sec.
Agar.io, my friend. I see.
Let's-
What?
Did you not use Agar.io for, or
Oh,
not Agar?
I-
Fucking
As-
Asgars.
Yeah, as layers or whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see the little arrow on the top left.
Yeah,
where-
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave it there. Who cares?
Yeah, no, I mean it's good. It works. I just wanted to make one of those references of the cheeky, oh, I'm in the know kind of things.
Let's make the background black because white
Hashtag
backgrounds
night
are
mode.
yeah.
Why does
White
Roll20
backgrounds are
not have a
sin.
Why does Roll20 not have a night mode?
Because it can't do basic things.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to do comfort things.
They're
Yeah.
just now launching in beta a phone app for Roll20.
Yep, no, fucking stupid.
But
Let's
only
not get
invite
started
only.
on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, fantastic. Anyway,
Fantastique!
he explains this is Isla de Cerdo. Yes, Pork Island. I know. Isla de Cerdo was discovered by Spanish explorers. Well, midway through the 18th century. It's about 55 miles off the south coast of Haiti. It's in a little pocket of water that no one really explores. Lengthwise, it's about 2.5 kilometers across. about so, or 2.5 kilometers from its longest point, about 2 kilometers from its widest point. Has an average elevation of about 250 feet above seawater. The northern shore is nearly inaccessible because of how it is very rocky in some places, and in others, the mud would be so thick that you wouldn't be able to get the traction you need to move. You'd be bogged down. So I'm going to advise, let me get my sheets. I'm going to advise that you land somewhere along this stretch of the southern shore. Recon performed by unmanned aerial drone of mine has indicated that the main Papia facility is somewhere here. Consists of a small runway strip along with the base itself.
Is that box purple and red?
No?
Are you sure?
Should just be red.
Yeah, I just see
red.
Oh yeah, it's just red.
Are you okay?
It is purple. It's all purple and red to me.
Stroke.
I'm having a stroke.
Oh no.
Oh!
The island's radar.
It makes a oh face. Sorry.
So,
Don't quit the mouse.
Wait, is that the surprise Pikachu face?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
remind,
me?
Was.
Shh. Remind me what we are looking for here.
That is what I was getting to. These 4 sites here control the island-wide alarm network. These are 4 power stations that they use in order to keep the facility powered on its own. This area is regularly patrolled not only by No, what did I call those crab drones you guys have? What's the name of that stupid crab from Greek myth? The giant crab that Hercules beat the shit out of. Carcinus. Which is where we get cancer from. It's patrolled by several Carcinus-class drones. Get that Pikachu face out of here.
It has nipples, James.
No.
I'm kidding you.
No.
I just love
Yeah.
that. I was like, that is literally the Pikachu face. I can draw it.
Carcinus-class
Sorry.
drones. As well, we believe that they have a 5-man mech team. Of course, they're probably going to be hunkering down if the storm is as bad as we assume it is. Though, with how advanced mech technology is, they might still be out and about, even in bad weather. Somewhere near the main facility, but we could not determine where, due to plant cover, is an old European Union bunker. This island was used as a listening post during the Cold War in order to monitor American activities. It was also used as a dumping ground for several of their more classified research projects.
So what, are you expecting us to find, Cold War era munitions?
I'm expecting you to find many different things. You could find manifests concerning spies, names, locations, code names, mechanical blueprints for weapons projects, sensitive information regarding other EU areas. My client is a former member of the United States military who worked almost exclusively with anti-espionage. They have a vested interest in getting this information.
Have you questioned your client on their efficacy?
In what way?
Well, do you know anything about them?
I know that they were a former general in the United States military, discharged not long after the United States became the not-so-United States.
Okay. Well, they want this, and they say they want to disband it, but have you ever known any military leader who did not want military tech for power?
You make a good point. but they seem most interested in potentially finding out more about what the European Union spy networks were doing, and if any are still active.
Hmm.
The United States might be gone, and the MTO may be a shadow of its former self, but the European Union is still strong, even if they are. And you know that that Europe has kind of broken down into infighting, especially between France and Germany, who are almost at war with one another over Alsace-Lorraine again.
Yeah, I was about to say, why does that sound familiar? All of European history.
But it's mostly because most of France's arable land isn't so arable anymore, and they're facing mass starvation. So they want the Rhineland, but Germany's like, ha ha ha, the French people are dying, that is funny.
Yeah, yeah. Price.
Jeez. Huh. Alright, so, you want us... What does the enemy up for look like?
I'm uncertain about how I couldn't get my drone too close without risking discovery because of the alarm network. Though thankfully its sensors will be severely hampered due to the inclement weather. Several Karkanos-class drones, you know the type, about 2 meters tall, about a meter long, usually underslung with some sort of weaponry system, all terrain, very quick on their feet. All 8 of them.
So, what about the Op 4's allegiance? How do we verify that these are in fact Kairos guys? I mean, what says that your guy has good information, right?
That's up to you. Obviously, the client would like to cause as little much of a fuss as possible, but if you do engage the enemy, obviously, there's one certain way to tell if they're Kairos. Check if
Yeah.
they're infected.
Right. But what if they got sympathizers? I mean, do you have any good idea on how we can reliably identify these guys? I'd prefer to not be killing good guys if we're getting set up as patsies.
Kairos like to brand themselves somehow. That'd probably be something on them that would indicate either on them, their uniform, or on any of their tech. I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to do more information before tomorrow.
Alright.
I'm going to have... There's a small clutch of palm trees in this area of your landing zone. I'll have it drop a dead drop there. It'll have more information when you arrive.
What's the time frame? I know we're to arrive on the 10th, but you're not wanting us to start operations until the 11th. How long is
Assuming
the
that
storm
the
set to
fort-
last?
Assuming that the forecast is correct, the 11th and the 12th are the best time. However, the bulk and the worst of the tropical storm will be the night of the 11th. They'll have an operating window of about nightfall to sunrise.
Get in, grab the shit, get out.
The viability
Precisely.
of gathering intel on the 10th is minimal.
Minimal. There isn't a lot of cover from the island. They would be able to see you coming from a long ways away. Calliope's already... Well, it's a third of a kilometer long. This island's only 2.5 kilometers long. Put everything into perspective.
Yeah, it actually kind of does. Because that would be... So if this is 100 feet, you're talking 2.5. Alright. So Calliope is about... not long? 50?
About 2.5 squares.
2.5.
Just
Oh,
pretty
wow.
fucking big.
That is pretty fucking big.
In fact, I think I still have the picture of the Calliope somewhere here. So I can actually give you perspective. Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. There's a perspective of how big it is compared to the island.
Wow.
Jesus. That's huge.
Yeah.
This is a very small island. Pork Island is not very big.
Pork Island.
It looks a little bit like a pork chop.
It do kind of look a little
I
bit
was
like
just
a pork
about
chop.
to make it. Let's go to Pork Island to get
It
our pork
also-
chops.
It also looks like an Edmund Macmillan drawing with nipples.
Jesus.
Alright.
You
But,
know, I know someone who is very well equipped to do chopping of pork.
Butcher Pete?
The small person with the giant F-off blade
Oh.
on their back.
Yeah, true.
You don't go through the femur, you go through the bottom of the waist because there's less shit to go through there.
True.
Unless they've been swallowing stones, in which case they're just assholes. Nick my
Fucking
blade.
pigs. But, yeah. They've indicated that they're going to leave a dead drop there for you when you make landfall. I've done very brief radar scans. The continental shelf along the southern shore should be shallow enough that you can walk up.
I was gonna say, Indiana doesn't have any questions.
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple. Get on the
Yeah.
island, find out the info, kill everyone. I mean,
Kick some ass, yeah.
Frank
Actually,
is
Could we murder
Frank is
Hobo
your
this
backup plan.
one? Let's just murder Hobo, everyone.
always.
Right?
We'll be in
I
touch.
could see James going, are they joking? Are they serious?
But, he notices that none of you have any questions and is like, we'll be in touch. And just clicks off his feed.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Nice. He seems a little bit less like an absolute villain at this point.
Still rather cagey.
Oh yeah. Always.
Very much so. Yep.
He seems like he was pretty
Isn't
much
she
set
about
upon
it?
this with minimal notice as is.
Hmm.
Sorry, Howler, go ahead.
Yeah, he's kind of shifty.
Hmm.
Was all he'd.
Yeah. Maybe, fuck, worst comes to worst, maybe he's just kind of shifty and, this general that he's working for, he just didn't do proper backgrounds on.
Who knows? Oh, Sin, can I borrow you for a minute or two?
Sure thing.
Before we break this meeting, Indiana, have you done any underwater ops before?
No, ma'am.
Is Sala capable of being fully sealed?
I'm sure I can ask Chief Engineer and she'll get right on it.
Right. Well, all of you better pack your high-capacity oxygen tanks, because you're going to have to go in through that way. We can't risk bringing the Calliope that close to shore.
Yeah. Alright. I don't like water, but alright. Kind of goes against my whole thing, you know.
You know,
Kinda-
we could
Kind of
just
a fire guy.
we could just get you
Your
hooked up
stuff
with
burns
Greek fire.
underwater, Frank. You're fine.
Yeah, but it don't
So-
burn quite as well. You ever weld underwater? I had to do that for a little bit. Worst job I ever had. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
Meeting adjourned. Sin, don't forget before you run off. You are wanted.
Whoa now, by what?
She just slowly points to Indiana with this look. It's like, what the fuck did you think I meant?
Just the way she was like, "You're wanted." He's like, "Hold up."
Yeah.
You're
Well-
wanted, pat on the head. We like you.
Oh, I
You're
was
wanted
thinking
by several regulatory bodies,
That's what I
like the
was
rest
thinking.
of us Yakshas.
right.
Literal
Hey, just-
fugitives. That all of us. Except for, well, no, and even Howler. Yeah, we're all fucking
Yeah.
fugitives.
You guys are very
I stole it.
atypical and yet typical in that way, where a lot of Yakshas do tend to have bad pasts, but they're also the people that get shit done because most modern militaries don't have the money to do military shit anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Yeah, we can't.
Mercenaries world, baby.
We can't throw money at trying to teach dolphins to talk.
Yeah,
And we can't
right.
throw even more money at putting landmines on their backs and teaching them how to go and hug ships.
Watch me.
By the way,
Go
look
on.
up the dolphin house. It's
It
I
is
know the
strange.
dolphin.
strange.
Yeah, very strange.
Is it as strange? Is it as strange as the Romans and their incendiary pigs?
No, there was.
Oh,
this-
it's
I'll have
more
to tell you-
strange.
it's weirder. It's weirder than that. Go. Yeah.
I'll have to tell you off stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Uh,
Yeah. Now that I think I know what you guys are talking about. And that was pretty. Yikes.
Yeah, yeah.
astral projection and
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
It was pretty cringe. There's no other word
Oh, yeah.
for it.
The
Yeah.
1950s were a hell of a time. Anyways.
Everyone was in a fucking cult. Prove me
True.
wrong.
So
Anyway.
anyway,
Soul. Yes,
Yeah.
Indiana, you're going to ask Sin for something.
Yeah, she's actually.
Make my guns better.
I need.
Hmm.
I'm working on a project, but I'm having some issues with the high-level concept. I was going to ask Greasy, but he wouldn't shut up about listening stations, so I figured I would see if you would be able to help.
Yeah, I could take a shot at it, and yeah, he never shuts up. You're not gonna get much out of him.
Yeah, she actually, would not hit the mic, but she would bring you back to her well, what do you call them? Our rooms. She's her desk has been completely transformed into a workbench. It's this jumbled sitting on this bench. There's the Art of Zen and motorcycle. Motorcycles sitting propped open on one side next to a whole spreadsheet of technical documents. Some of them are high level, some of them look like they're blueprints, and there's this jumbled, heap of wires and servos, and it's almost unintelligible to figure out what she's trying to make. But she's coming over to this joint and she's going, as much as I try to work, I cannot get this servo to... Excuse me. I'm trying to get this servo to work in tandem with the ones here, but the impulse connections just aren't cutting it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. She's pointing to a blueprint. I'm following the designs here, but it's not translating. And you can see
Fucking IKEA.
we don't talk about IKEA.
this blueprint looks like it's supposed to be for some sort of cybernetic arm.
Well, of course, that's some advanced machinery you've got making there. But you've got to connect them a little bit differently when you're using a confined space like that, and you don't have all that wider area like you would have on a vehicle. You have to condense things down and connect them at a finer detail with tinier parts. Let me show you some. I don't know. Do I just like roll something to help her out, or
Yeah, roll like fix.
Oh yeah. Or invent, create, or fix, repair.
Fix repair. Because this is basically the most of it's
20
there, you're
plus.
just putting it back together. Yeah. Child's play.
Yeah. So you put this in here, and then reaches into his back pocket, literally just pulls out a gear that seems to be perfect for it, and slip that right in there. Like, why did he have that in what?
Right.
Why was it in his pocket?
Well, I'll be damned.
I'm getting down into the finer details. I don't seem like I'm one of those kind of people, but I am.
No, not at all. It's... I know we're not supposed to keep secrets on this crew, but you can probably tell what this is for, so if you could just keep it on the down low until it's done.
Are you kidding me? It's gonna flip Frank the fuck out, and I'm gonna love to see his face. You go right ahead.
Thank you.
Shit.
That's why he's like, oh, this will be great.
Uh,
This is the secret that's gonna be like,
It's a good secret, not a bad secret.
And then Frank is gonna look over at Sin like, "What the hell? Do you know about this?" I'm like, maybe.
What is this thing? It's not made of
No,
bone,
no,
but it
no,
looks like a
no.
skeleton.
She's making a mechanical arm for the boss.
That's why it's gonna flip you out. You're like, "What?
Oh,
That's why you've been all
okay.
secretive."
Okay.
Yeah, I
thought
imagine
it was
this is gonna cause some minor problems in the future. Like, you're doing it again. What?
Yeah.
You're not telling me shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
I said no secrets. Takes the arm, slaps her with it.
God. Fucking Christ.
Well, there are good secrets. It's called white.
Yeah, it's called a surprise.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
this-
surprise.
It's not
And this
gambling.
time-
They're surprise mechanics.
Yeah.
No, a surprise mechanic is when you go and your car's up on cinder blocks with no engine.
Yeah. God.
Can't have
Garage
shit.
mechanic.
Can't have shit in Yakshas.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised. That's pretty common in this world. Like
You stole
this-
my
you know,
tires. Oh, look, you even stole my catalytic converter. How nice.
for that little bit of copper.
It's actually platinum.
Oh, what is it that's copper that everyone steals? Isn't that
Your
part of the fuel
alternator.
line?
Wiring and yeah, alternator. Most copper wire theft actually happens from homes.
I know that like when you do it from vehicles, you're making like $100 and it costs us like $300,000 in damage, or something outrageous like that.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's a big old
It's
spool
always
of
been
that.
like that. Coal is cost more than the sum of its parts part thing.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
God. And then you have
But,
to, but then you'd have to listen to someone like Greasy fixing it. He'll complain and complain.
Yep. I was
Anyways,
just gonna say, you know how in Russia, they have such a problem with car theft and insurance fraud that every car in Russia has a dashboard cam?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny videos on the internet, by the way, because everyone has a dashboard cam.
Also, that one meteor strike that happened in Russia was caught like from
Yeah.
hundreds of angles. That was really cool to get to see.
yep.
I'm sure Shiva was caught on Russian dash cams.
Was
Probably
caught on
most of the Eastern
satellites,
Hemisphere
dude.
could see that shit.
Everyone in the world could see it for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was some end of days shit. Everyone in the
Then
world
most of
probably
the-
felt it.
I can just imagine the one person living under a rock, like, cool, a shooting star, make a wish. I wish I was
Why is it
dead.
getting so big? They live in
I
India.
wish everybody would die. I hate them all.
What's even better is they're in India and they're like, ah, look, it's. Oh, careful what you wish for, I guess.
Yeah, this shit's getting a bit close, don't it?
But,
God.
watch your jet! Watch your jet! But, yeah, has anyone got anything else they want to do before you guys go scuba diving under the sea?
Except to maybe dance like a hula. Under the
Yeah.
sea. Sorry.
Under the sea.
Frank, I like
Yeah.
to think that Frank's
Uh,
basically
Starlink
like
is better.
got the
So-
whole mech warrior thing where you do have a little hula girl in the fucking cockpit, and every
Of
time you're
course.
getting ready, you fucking flick it. And
Oh yeah.
With
of course,
dances.
except it's a bobblehead of the Doom guy.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, he flicks the head every time. Sometimes, just as a joke to himself, he goes boom headshot. Oh,
Ew.
also,
Do you
Fun
ever fist
story.
bump it?
sometimes he fist bumps it. But no, fun story. Frank now has the Agni
NHP.
NHP on his ship or on his mech, and he
The
does
what?
not. It's I want to say no. It's the Inferni NHP is what it is.
Yeah, because I was gonna.
Hot now?
It's
No,
I don't
it's
know
an
how it's-
Agni class NHP.
I don't know how it's because Agni is the and fitting enough that it's a Hindu deity, is the god
Uh-huh.
of fire. and
Yeah.
purification.
So here's the fun thing about Agni style NHPs, right? Agni class NHPs. They're horribly unstable. They're very cold and calculating when it comes to like target designation and like regulating heat in the mech. But like soldiers have been in the middle of battle and the Agni will just make unusually cruel choices. Like
I'm going
like,
to.
just like fucking commit war crimes like level shit of just like, ah yes, if your Agni is cascading, you have problems. You have a real problem. Some NHPs might go, oh, I'm scared, be not afraid to myself. Agni is, I'm fucking ready.
I'm going to
Like-
kill everything.
Yeah, no, so
it's
Frank
a
does not
situation.
trust it.
When an Agni NHP cascades, everyone else's objective changes from whatever the sit rep is to rescue civilians.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Frank knows this reputation, but he's like, well, if I want to have the plasma gun, I'm gonna have to have the NHP to go with it. Ah, Christ.
I like to imagine that the NHP is so unadvanced it doesn't have its own voice.
Mm-hmm.
All it uses is quotes from Ragnaros in Molten Core.
Oh yeah?
Like, whenever you're trying to vent but there's not enough heat built up, it's just too soon, Executus.
Oh, no. It definitely has a Microsoft Sam ass, or like
Oh,
one of those
God.
like, one of those like,
Two.
just like super deep, like fucking like, weapon systems online. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, the reason I said Ragnaros is, by fire be purged!
Yeah. I would agree, usually, however, the Agni is very straight-laced, unfortunately.
Until it loses it.
Until it loses it, and then it goes fucking bonk shit apers. It goes insane.
It goes knucking futs.
Yes.
Anyway.
I was going to let you guys know one of the changes made to Sala. You would think after the last time where, you know, oh, you got too close and it really fucking hurt. Maybe you shouldn't do that again, Sala. Well, what's actually happened is we've taken the longest range weapon, removed it, and replaced it with a melee weapon.
Stop. Hammer time.
It is now a kinetic hammer. James, it has reliable 4 on it, just letting you know. So, even if I miss, it
Christ.
still does 4 damage.
God.
Everything you're going up against has 4 armor now. Fuck you.
We call that armor, the hammer, the trickic.
The trick. That's
Well, you
the
certainly
trick.
tricked it out. Haha.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, I haven't even
ha,
installed any mods. I could
Huh.
install the Uncle Class CompCon on it.
No.
Yes!
No, uncle.
No more uncle stuff.
Oh,
Uncle can't be killed in a way that matters.
Facts.
Uh,
Uncle is the one that cascades, and then everyone's job is save the civilians.
Yeah.
see, the only problem is then Uncle attacks with it once a turn, and he's like a drunk toddler trying to hit things with it, because he only gets a +2 attack. No, he gets an attack at +2 difficulty.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and it's just
I
bad.
like to think that the Uncle NHP sounds like Greasy Sweet.
I can imagine he said, "Wait, you got one of them in there? Hold on, got a thing for this. Right here." Pulls out a little USB chip. It's a mod. What does it do? It's
Just
a mod.
use it.
You need
I'm not
to use
telling you.
right.
You're gonna find out, kid. It's gonna be fucking wild.
Right.
It's gonna be sweet. Greasy sweet.
And
Sweet.
it's either Greasy himself or he pulls like fucking Rick from Rick and Morty. So
God.
let me like 20-minute adventure. Except I fucking missed again, Morty. I fucking missed.
I missed.
Sorry.
Man,
But,
I didn't get that joke. I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, you really need to have several degrees.
Yeah, my IQ is pretty low.
Cosmic brain in order to understand Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh, man.
Anyway, long story short, Yeah, you guys get all suited up and ready, get the fucking classic BattleTech scene of everyone loosening up their hands and grabbing the joysticks and all that. The reactors online, weapons online, sensors online.
Online.
And have you guys seen Pacific Rim?
Yes, I love
No.
that movie.
Such a good.
I legitimately stood up in my fucking room alone like an idiot going, here!
I have not seen that movie.
Sword activated.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's kind of like that where it's nighttime. It's a bad storm out. Like the wind is easily like 80, 90 miles an hour. The thing is, you guys are in such heavy machines with actuators and compensators to not get bowled over, despite being so tall. Like, you can vaguely make out in the distance, like, trees. They're sideways with how hard the wind's blowing. It's raining sideways. And you see cracks of thunder and lightning that show the very dark, voluminous, angry-looking clouds. Very low in the sky, too. And you can see sheets of rain and peeling lightning all over the place. But, the door comes down, and it's basically your guys' ramp. You walk up to the edge, hop off. There's a heavy shudder and thump, and you guys are now underwater, slowly sinking down, probably 150 meters maybe.
Can we say that we've chained our mechs to each other, like, in like a daisy
Like a
chain
daisy
sort of
chain.
way? Yeah, yeah.
You just want me to carry you.
Well, yeah, but also, I don't want anyone to get lost underwater.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say Indiana's probably turning all the floodlights available on Sala. There's dark. Yeah. Once you get down to that.
Yeah, you hit the bottom. There's that thump. Everything's very. It's odd that things are so muted underwater because sound actually travels better in water than it does in air.
Yeah, you guys see and hear there is a slight sizzle at all times, and that is because Frank's new plasma thrower.
Oh god.
Around like the cone that like the plasma thrower emits its heat from, there is just boiling water. It's like one of those underwater geysers.
Yeah, we've got Indiana busy checking seals. She's like, oh, let's hope we're not doing any underwater combat, otherwise this could be very bad. She says, checking one seal.
Yeah, and
I should have
everybody's
had Chief Engineer double check these.
everybody's bitchin' Betty has popped up a warning that says you've exceeded 100 meters in depth. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Yeah, I forgot to turn the audio off on this one.
Warning,
Wait,
30
you-
seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yeah.
You know they give you good warnings,
Oxygen.
right? You turn them
Yeah,
off?
oxygen.
Yeah, I usually turn to beep code. I find it's a little bit easier for me to understand, and it's faster too.
You see you see Sala shrug.
Yeah.
I
Very
programmed
slow
that.
in the water.
Right. And that was a recent programming change. And yes, you see this giant fuck off hammer in its hands.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely
No.
a war hammer. It's got the blunt in on one end and the a
Pointed
sharp
end on the
edge
other.
on the
I
back.
wield the Warhammer Golmaras.
God.
Break
Hell
it to
yeah.
my men.
Bring me to my men. Assemble the electrocounts. Continuing.
But yeah, you guys have like a radar that shows where you are in relation to the island. You got your objective. You probably have a pin on your map that's it's your quest marker that is marked where Zminiar indicated they had left your Deaddrop.
Lovely.
Now you just gotta walk along the bottom of the ocean. It's actually a little calm down here, so you're deep enough underwater.
I don't like the
Won't be
silence.
coming.
I think it's rather relaxing.
Oh, it's
Frank's like,
dead.
yeah, Frank's like, oh, I can fix that. And he just starts playing some Iron Maiden through the Fucking comms.
Yeah, unbeknownst to you, she's muted comms.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Understandable.
Actually, I imagine it's somewhat like Discord. You can see she's deafened herself.
Frank's like, yeah, whatever, and then clicks it back to his machine only.
Yeah. Kids these days don't appreciate good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And then
trudge
she
your way through the dark water. Normally, the Caribbean is one of those places that does have clearer, tropic water. Not when it's nighttime, and not when there's a storm as bad as it is out. It's pitch black. You see no fish, nothing.
Mhm.
It's just sand. And only you can see maybe yards in front of yourselves. At most, even with those heavy floodlights. It's oppressively dark.
Do you guys do this often?
Well, I did used to scuba dive before the world went to shit.
In Texas?
Yeah, I lived on the coast. Gulf of Mexico is a pretty nice place, gotta be honest with you. Well, haven't been there in a while.
You guys are ruining the peace and quiet of being under the ocean.
She's hit you with like 3 damn that's crazies, and you're still talking.
Oh, for
Wow.
sure. For sure. You know, the Pixies actually wrote a song once about,
Yep, you get
about,
you get server
Wow.
muted.
Wow.
yeah.
Good shot.
You know, fun fact, he like doesn't even know he's like muted. He's like, fun fact, they actually used it in Fight Club as the ending theme song. It was great. Hello? Anybody?
Everyone's muted.
Alright,
deafened.
whatever. Yeah, no,
But,
Frank's just like, fucking whatever. Just keeps going.
You do know that the Gulf is actually a very dangerous place now because all the changes caused by the meteor have also meant that weather patterns are even more unpredictable, and tropical storms are almost near constant.
Excellent.
Hurricane
thing we
season
have-
gets wild.
Well, I mean, good thing we are literally in one of the ships that is best equipped to handle hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys trudge along the bottom of the ocean, and it starts getting not lighter, but you're getting closer to the surface because the water gets choppier. Until finally you manage to breach up on shore. This island it's a shitty, dinky little island. You're on it's not even really a sandy beach. It's kind of just a pebbly beach. The scree all over the beach is enough to where you guys are actually fighting to get traction. Remember, he said this was the good beach for your landing. But it's a very thin strip of scree before you get up to actual, ground that's vegetated. And not too far off away, maybe 100 meters or so, is a nice thick clutch of pine trees, maybe 6 or 7 of them all hunkered up together. Old growth ones where their roots have actually started to creep out of the ground. And it's the only thing around other than some tall shrubs and pampas grass kind of stuff. All of which is now horizontal with the wind.
If only it wasn't so wet.
Is it
Burn it all
gone with the
down.
wind?
You probably do see some things are getting just picked up and yeetus deletus off the island.
Oh, gosh.
Delete us.
God.
Yeetus, deletus, yes.
That's with a Y.
Yes. Please.
Yeah.
I
But,
show you the folder.
Alright, where do we go from here? I don't see... Are the palm trees even still there?
The palm trees are big and old enough to where they're probably going to survive. Most of their leaves probably aren't.
They're just going...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
less wah and more eh. The wind's almost a constant.
Oh god, there's probably... Yeah, we're getting... Warning, wind shear. Warning, wind shear.
Pull up. Pull up.
Actually, if anyone's getting that, that might be Indiana, because she's still trying to figure out her helicopter blades.
Huh.
No, you're getting constantly, because you haven't figured it out, where it's like, main rotor RPM too low, reduced collective.
God. It's just
It's like walking, and I'm just.
damn it, I think there's a water short somewhere.
Main RPM too low.
God.
It's too fucking low.
You don't even have it deployed, that's the funny part. That's why it's like,
Right.
you have an RPM of 0.
Yes, that's the point. Anyways.
Reduce collective. But, yeah, you guys are trudging along, and you stop to pick up the Deaddrop.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deaddrop is actually essentially like a very small black box. It's small enough that even in one of the smaller mechs, like Legion or Sala, they could just easily take it in their hand.
Mm.
And when you pick it up, it's got a very short wave data transmitter, and it punches in a long series of numbers for a encrypted radio channel.
Okay.
When you
And
pick it up,
then
beep, beep.
all of that,
God.
and then underneath
Snake.
it just says, in quotes, waterfall.
Yeah, he tunes on to the radio signal. Goes, waterfall?
Quiet for a little bit. Then you hear Zaminiar's voice come over. It's like, you're certain that you're all alone?
He, like, looks around and is like, well, whatever's out here if we aren't alone has roots.
Forgive me for my paranoia. I think that we need to be straight with one another.
That is a bomb. You're on a nuke.
The whole island's a nuke. Big nuke.
Yeah, he's like, alright, then be straight with us.
I think you all suspected it. Otherwise you wouldn't have asked it. I am one of the chief lieutenants in Kairos.
Oh my fucking god.
Before you turn around and walk back to your ship, though,
As this is happening, I patch the ship, the Calliope, into this feed, and specifically ping Bodhi and the captain.
yeah. And you get a Bodhi basically pings you back with like a little thing that's just like a few blinking lights that's like, we're
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah,
Told you so.
yeah.
But before you all go running back to the ship, I will tell you more about this operation and why you're doing it. I may be part of Kairos. I may believe in Kairos. But I'm not a madman. The person in charge of Kairos now is a madman. Inside of that bunker, you're going to find something, anything, connected to something called Project Yates. Yates, like the poet. You have to find it, and you have to give it to me. Try to avoid killing anyone if you can. Those are just happy as goons. They think that they're doing so much. What a help they are.
Yeah, you haven't given me one compelling argument to do what you're telling me.
Project Yates, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's some sort of super weapon. The European Union were making it as a ditch effort to break out of mutual destruction. Something they could have over the Americans if everything went wrong to protect themselves and assure their victory. Whatever it is, it was buried when the Cold War came to an end. And more of it was buried when Shiva happened. But pieces of it still remain. The leader of Kairos wants it. He wants to start something. Go legit, I guess you could say. Start an actual war. He's going to get millions of people killed if he does that. I know you're mercenaries and you only work for your chefs, but I also think that you're human enough to not want that many people to die. Am I right?
Got one piece of information that we can look up to prove what you're saying is true.
The general that I mentioned is another chief lieutenant within Kairos. His name is General Caliburn. He's former general, disgraced. His family was infected. He was not, but he was forced to resign because of it. And then his family were made examples of by the Purifiers. Caliburn soon joined with us. He's directing our military intelligence, with all of his Cold War era gifts, as well as the fact that he is one of the most tactically minded people in the Western Hemisphere. We have soldiers that are starting to marshal all across the mainland, on every continent. Yes, every continent.
I don't
Kairos
consider
doesn't-
Australia a continent. Does that count? She says, trying to break the tension.
Yeah, no, Frank, you actually get like a. She's got jokes.
Trying.
And yeah, he goes, but in all seriousness, happy you know what they're sitting on top of?
No. All they know is that this is a small research center they have. They're trying to understand the weather effects that Zenerite has had on the world, and to make sure that if a concentration of it ever enters some sort of current within the Gulf, especially the Gulf Stream, that half the world doesn't get tainted water. But that's all they do, is they sit and they wait. They're stooges, but they're not worth killing.
What are
They're
you going to do
innocents.
with the data? Why can't we just destroy it?
The data's destroyed, then that looks bad for me. I'm already in a precarious enough position trying to hold what power and sway I have over Kairos.
And that
I can doctor the information.
I was about to say that your ass being on the line is our problem in how many ways?
Because I'm the only one reaching out to work with you. When you stopped that weapons deal in Guatemala, that was going towards something big that's happening in July. Can't say when, can't say where. I'm already spending too much time explaining.
Sorry. Continue, I'm
If
sorry.
you can get that information to me, I can doctor it. It won't stop Kairos from looking for more on Project Yates, but it'll slow them down. And because I managed to perform a successful op and get what seemed like enemies at least working for us, well, we both get out of this a little bit better. And I'll delete any information I have about you. Nothing will exist that Kairos can use against you. Does this sound tempting enough?
Get off of
Yeah.
Kairos radar.
Yeah, let's check back with the ship.
So if we don't help you, you're sicking Kairos on us, basically.
I can't guarantee that you'll be safe,
Uh-huh.
but I also can't guarantee anything anymore.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna check back with the ship. Have a good one. And he's just gonna tune off of the the thing.
Does anyone stay on it?
I leave it open, but I've been quiet as if I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. Same.
In case he keeps talking. Well, you cracked a joke about Australia.
Yeah.
If any of you are still listening, come and find me at New Orleans. Use this channel when you make landfall. I'll have another dead drop for you there.
Come find me, but instead of me, you'll find a dead drop.
Oh, what do you expect? He's gonna like show up and be like, "Hi guys,
I know, just
I'm only
to
like
come
the chief
find me.
lieutenant for a terrorist group."
What is
Just
today's
to
date?
come find me.
It is June 11th.
Okay. Year again? 2037?
2038.
Okay.
38.
No, 26. My bad.
Yeah, I was saying
2036.
6 and you said 8, so like, I guess 2038. I don't know,
36.
man.
It's 1 year after whatever the fuck we did in New Amsterdam really fucked shit over.
Right.
What did you do? What are we doing?
Yeah, after he does things like, remember the call, the call tag. I won't respond unless I hear it. Yeah, then you assume that he tunes off, but just because it gets dead silent. But then for you, uh, you tune into back to the ship, Frank,
Yeah.
and you just get a deep sigh from the camera, just like, we're in way over our heads.
Told you so.
I think we should continue to do it.
Why not?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
I think we should go through with the mission.
I mean, it fucks over at least most of them, and if worse
So
comes to
we're-
worse, we can betray him in the end.
Look,
Well, why don't we get Happy on our side? Tell them what they're on top of.
look, whatever they're planning, on whatever date, wherever, that's going to be bad for all of us, no matter who's in charge. We
And
need
if it
to-
really is a powerful weapon, I think we should just go ahead and stop that.
Yeah, and specifically for you, Frank and Sin, they were they were sitting to buy a lot of weapons. We're talking you can equip an actual army with anti-armor, anti-air, anti-building.
These guys were doing big terror things.
Yeah,
Right.
they want the big terror. They're upgrading. Level 1 crook no more.
Lesser
Yeah.
of two evils, as they say.
Well, here's the thing that I see though. We did kind of catch them betraying those people, and I don't care if they lay out their plan in front of me. Not the kind of guy who gets shot in the face by somebody who he trusts. That's kind of the thing that I used to do.
Well, now we know how they're working. If we do this delivery, make sure that you go in your finest Sunday wear.
How about we edit the docs before we send it to him? Make it so it's completely useless. That way we
Might
don't
work.
have to trust anybody.
Might work. I doubt they'll know if we did that.
And what, we keep it for ourselves?
Destroy it. If it's something really that dangerous, then we should probably destroy it.
That probably sounds best.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy who likes nukes. Save the whales and all that shit.
Yeah, I don't feel up to taking over the world today.
Computer King, but you're a supervillain.
Yeah, are you okay, Computer King? That's so not like you.
Are you okay?
So, I mean, that's Howler.
Yeah, fair.
Which, I suppose now the one question we have is, do we cancel the op and try and communicate with Happia, or do we try and carry out the mission now? Under their noses.
Let's do it, but do it the way they suggested, with few to no casualties.
Although if there are casualties, I'm not gonna complain.
I find it really confusing that they send a group of people driving giant mechs in to not kill people.
I can always try and sneak in invisible and see what I can come up with.
Or we can get there as a team and in something smaller than a mech, our skin.
That does beg the question, though, if you end up being caught by one of those Karkanauts or by the God forbid, their actual mech defense team. What if they start shooting first, asking questions later?
Look,
Soft targets don't have a good track record against mechs.
believe it or
Correct.
not, I'm better on my feet than I am in a mech.
I leave this operational discretion to all of you. Just please try not to get yourselves killed. This is already getting a little too hectic for me.
Well,
Best I can do out of a mech is stay hidden and scout with a drone.
I can handle anti-personnel well enough. Especially if we're inside a bunker, I doubt there's going to be much in the way of room for mechs.
True.
Assault bunker should be priority. Once we get, all we have to do is get past the mechs.
Plus, look at it this way, I'm not going to be doing any long-range supporting fire anyways. Sala
No.
pats the bandolier on its chest.
But we do have one piece of good news, and that's Ryota's managed to cut through the encryption on the island and has their communications channel open for you if you want to listen in. We'll definitely let you know if you've stirred the hornet's nest.
Yeah, we'll definitely need that.
Yes.
And you all get a radio tune transmitted to you, just like a local wavelength kind of thing.
Doot 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 doot.
Remind me to buy Ryota a beer, but not more than one.
Oh, I'm sure he'll remember it.
Nah, he won't.
Oh, he will.
Oh, he will. Yeah, one of you maybe clicks on the thing, the radio. And you can hear like very quiet chatter. It's like a Horizon 1 to engineering. Got an update on that power plant issue. Go ahead, H1. Vapor locking can be avoided if you switch your fuel cell manual, leave your bleeder valves open. Won't that affect internal temperatures? Yep, but you won't be losing power suddenly. Just, small,
Right.
casual shit.
He got it working, guys.
Are there any other spots on this island where the mechs can wait?
Well, considering that you need to get close... Actually, no. Yeah, she's talking over the radio. I should have been doing this the whole time. Considering that you're trying to get close to the main facility, you might want to dump off the mech somewhere near this little gulf here. Should be protected by some denser foliage along that small riverbank, or stream, or whatever it is. Can't really tell from this topography.
Yeah, and Kong can take care of himself and hang out here until I give the word, and then lay down some distracting fire. That way we can get from the facility back to everyone else's mech, while Kong leads them out seaward. He turns off the radio for a second. You can do that, right, King?
There's a pause before he says, "Of course I can."
God.
I am the king of the jungle.
Ooh.
Okay. We'll turn comms back on. Yeah, Kong can be pretty autonomous when he needs to.
Yeah, Frank's like, well, maybe we can dig in partially.
Does anybody
Place
have
to
extra
themselves.
in their cockpit for one guy? Would be me.
I unfortunately had to remove my extra compartment space.
Worst case scenario, I can ride on the outside. You can ride inside of the set over here.
Sure,
That
that's
won't
so
be
wise
good.
given the wind.
Like I said,
It's not
worst
some
case
beautiful
scenario.
port. I'm expecting a little walk underwater too, just like we got here.
Technically, Set can swim, so he could just keep our head above water, and I could ride on top.
All right.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, Set will just keep his head above
Well,
water.
shit, Amy.
Oh,
Good.
worst case
Thank you
scenario,
kindly
Yeah.
because
Thank you very much, Amy Gedden. Sorry
for
to break the
subscribing
action.
with Prime.
Amy with the 510 bits.
And
Nice.
no subscription.
I wish I could. Watch ads for bits, but it won't ever let me anymore.
Amy
Yeah,
Geddon, you who are giver of bits and wisest of ways, and 3 more biddies.
Amy?
Must surely be handsome and successful.
Amy Gedden, who is this character? I've never met them. They're a stand-up person. Guy or gal. I'm not sure because I don't know who they are. I would assume gal because Amy. So, good job, Amy Gedden. Thank you.
God.
Oh, I know, these graphics are lovely. I wonder who made them.
Oh yeah, no, these
Let me
graphics
see.
are
Let me see if the banner at the bottom says.
My
By
glasses
the way,
are really
ladies
bad,
and gents, we have a banner now. Have you noticed?
so I saw her
Yes.
say, "I love your graphics. End your story," and I was like, "Whoa,
Huh.
Amy, calm down."
Yeah,
No, she
yeah,
can
you
say
can't be
whatever she wants
encouraging
about my story.
James.
End your story.
Yes,
End your
she
beautiful
can.
face.
Oh man.
She can encourage me all she wants.
God.
Yeah, what is the plan now? If we look at the map, if we take a look at this chart,
Betrayal, mass betrayal, mass betrayal.
how are
yeah.
you guys going to approach this situation? I'll actually make a blue mark where she indicated where you guys could probably dump the mix. And I don't mean dump, but like somewhere around here.
Because-
Yeah.
That will-
Rex can wait there. Kong can wait here to make a distraction, because when we're leaving, Rex not paying any attention to, the big thing, the big bunkers that we're just coming out of. I want them
I'm
to
actually
go.
kind of
someone's
excited for out of mech combat.
Right?
Yeah, Frank
Sorry,
is
computer.
like.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just said that we want them to not be paying attention, looking for who's coming out of bunker. We want them paying attention to someone shooting at them.
You have
Yeah,
NHPs for that.
I'm a decent enough distraction as well, I'd say. Got a grenade
going in.
launcher. Say what?
Oh, you're talking about from the ground. Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I've got the same. And for indoors, I've got my trusty rifle.
Yeah, I got a shotgun. Yeah, I'm gonna be your guys' backup plan. I'm not really good at this sneaking around crap, so you clear areas and then I'll walk through them casually smoking a cigarette or something. How's that sound?
Question,
I'm
James.
fine to me.
Someone has questions for me?
If I am wandering around invisible, can I have the great sword? I'm calling it a great sword. It's an assault sword. It's a great sword. Or
Right.
actually, at this point, she's small enough. It's closer to like a Zweihander because it is about 5 feet long. Is that something she has to have sheathed to stay invisible?
As long as you're only doing either a hide or a move action, you're technically invisible, so says the rule book.
Okay, so he will hold on. She will, have that unsheathed. And yeah, it's something that being ready with that is not holding it out in front of you. It's basically having it on one shoulder.
I can go too.
So, fuck yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you guys will have time to make your game plan. Because I think this is where we're going to leave it off for tonight.
The ants are marching one by one.
God.
In some awkward situations, and now you're going to have to deal with what you want to do, who you trust, what you don't want to happen more than other things, and other
Yeah.
fun things that are gonna make you think and make you laugh and make you cry.
Ooh, I have
I'm
an idea,
excited.
guys.
I love crying. What?
He has ideas.
So, we can steal the shit. We can come out of there. We can modify it like we were planning, and then we can warn the people there. Hey, looks like you got your shit broken into. Might want to check on that.
Like Zoink Scoob! I don't know if we should be working with these international terrorists.
Easily.
Fred seems to think they're okay though.
Fred keeps talking about death of the West.
God, anyways.
Yep.
The West.
Anyways, we're gonna move on to sign-offs. Let's start with Daniel.
Hola! What up? I'm Sassy McNasty69 or Daniel or whatever you want to call me. It's cool. Daddy. Whatever. Wow. Yeah, you caught me here as Sin. And in the sake of time, I will just go ahead and say you can catch me in nearly every game. Just swing by every day. If you want to know the schedule, you can check our Twitter at Paratheater. And yeah, it's been awesome. Keep up with us and have fun. That's
Move
everything.
on to Gunner.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sarah Smith, and today you caught me running Indiana. Sorry, I'm looking at. Anyways, you can also find me running Sundays, Tales from the Cosmos, where we're doing lots of things. You're just gonna have to come and figure out what the fuck the hell's going on, because we got people in a crater that used to be called Bastion, where a bunch of red bearded dwarf. Never mind. You're gonna have to just watch. There's too much. You can also find me on Monday playing Twinkle Bailey, the person who's decided it's time to set sail because we need to get the fuck out of here. Also, Cyril, what the fuck are you doing here? Anyway, you can also find me on Wednesdays in Hench to Mensch playing Acer, the telepathic sniper who doesn't realize everybody's starting to turn on her. I'm looking at you, Shadowhound. You can also find me on Thursdays, where I am either playing somebody who's afraid of the moon, or some old fart that would go, you know, I remember when we landed on the moon. Anyways, that's me.
All right, next up, let's go to the Computer King.
I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming. You may know me from shows such as Tales from the Cosmos on Sundays, where I play 3 different characters with different funny voices I make. Or on Thursdays, every other Thursday, I'm a guy who's kind of looks and sounds like Forrest Whitaker when he was younger. Or even on Wednesdays, running from Hench to Mensch, where I have horrible things in store for the supervillain wannabes on my players list. So, Tuesdays I'm in something from Beyond. So I think that's it. Yeah. Wow, that was fast. Go ahead.
All right. Least, but not last. Oh, wait. Well, whatever. Mike.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike, also known as Win 5, Get 1 Free, and tonight you caught me playing Frank, the lovable dad who did some dad stuff this episode. It was a good time. I also can be caught on Saturdays. Playing, sorry, my brain just fucking blue screened and then did a quick reset. Catch me on Saturdays playing Greasy, DJ for KRUST 6.66 The Crust, the hottest shit that floated to the top of the bathtub. Where, we're in a hotel, and he's gonna make lots of jokes about rock stars trashing hotels. It's gonna be a good time. Catch me on Mondays where I play ex-Paralictor Burn Ward, the Knight of Patella, head Knight of Patella, so he's the chief of the cops. Anyway, you can also catch me, that's and running on Thursdays. Next Thursday, I'll be running Project Severovo, where everybody's having a hard time, and I love it. You can also catch me the Thursday after that with New Amsterdam, where shit just got real. Shit's gonna get dangerous. And that is me.
And I think that leaves it with me. Hi ho, friendolos. My name is James, otherwise known as Night. You caught me here today being Mr. DM for Yakshas. There wasn't any combat this time, but there was a lot of fun. There were a lot of laughs. I got to do a lot of greasy sweets. My throat's dead.
Yep.
But also, the other thing that's dead is moral ambiguity, because they're maybe working for bad guys who aren't quite as bad as the other bad guys, but might still be bad guys. And the good guys might be just kind of inept at being good guys. Does that make them bad guys?
I don't know. Ask North Africa about UN troopers. I fucking hate blue helmets. Continue.
You can't make a civilian a soldier, just like you can't convince a soldier he's a civilian once again.
Especially when they're insufferable little shits.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm good at that, so fuck off.
Fair. You can also find me here on Sundays where I play 11 characters. Count them. There's a lot of them. And there's more to come. I can't be stopped or contained. So just come by and see which of those 11 fucking characters I'm playing. It's usually more than one at a time. Occasionally, because I don't have a schedule for this shit, you can find me on Mondays where I will be the occasional guest star as Sarald Silverchild, and might as well be called S because he's pretty much L, and he's become the Zeratul of the campaign, where he pops up, hands these people stuff for side quests, and then says bye.
Huh.
But he always leaves with something cryptic like "look for the light" or something fucking weird and dumb like that. I don't know.
Oh my god, he's the speaker from the original Destiny!
I know these things. I could tell you, but I don't.
God.
What fucking horrible writing. Anyway, can also find me here, depending on the Thursday, either as Ian West, who really doesn't want to know what's Ian going on anymore in Project Severovo, because people are walking through walls and also their heads are made out of like fucking typewriters and shit. I don't know, I don't like it. Also, we might be in a simulation, we might be trapped in abstract geometry. I don't fucking know anymore. Could be ghosts.
Could be ghosts.
And every other Thursday, you can catch me in New Amsterdam, where shit just got wild, shit just got real, shit just got wet and slippery. It's gonna be a fun time. So stop on by. And I think for tonight, we're gonna get out of here on an RIP moral ambiguity. Right?
R.I.P. moral ambiguity.
Moral ambiguity.